All right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Testing. We are here. We are live. Welcome to the podcast is real. I am your host, King Drell. And y'all already know what it is. It is Thursday, so y'all know we got to keep it live over here. Y'all may know this, but y'all know this at this point. My co-host isn't quite here yet. If y'all have been here long enough, y'all know that my co-host run on Black people time. He will be here eventually, I promise. Don't worry about it. He will be here. But in the meantime, it's okay because we got some very talented people in the podcast this week. You know, as we see over here, if you have gone to some cons, you may have seen them in the vendor's hall. You may have seen some of the amazing mangas that this man right here have been selling. 2D animation, digital. I don't know if there's anything these guys can't do. So we're just going to leave it at that. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Camille and Prince of Puryear Digital Media!
Nice to be here.
Hey, it's great to be here, you know. Yeah, we're in the building. I met you last year at AWA at the con. So, yeah, I met you in the game. Y'all was full of energy. I'll never forget y'all. Yeah.
Well, you know, it's like not even just the energy. It's just, you know, we also had to slide through and support, which, you know, I will touch on a little bit later. But y'all, I definitely love y'all vibes. And I also like what y'all are doing. If it's anything that I'm always big on, it's supporting Black creators. I feel like everybody, look, I say this every week on this podcast, there's enough room at the top for all of us. So we need to always support each other, look out for each other, and you will be amazed at what all we can do. So with that being said, how are y'all doing tonight?
I'm good. I'm happy to be here. Maybe a little nervous, but no,
a little nervous. Hey, look, Prince requested that you be here, which I have no problem with, but he was like, hey, can my sister be here with me too? I'm like,
sure. Yeah.
I'm just, you know.
Yeah, I was like, let me get my girl out here. I was like, she be killing it on the projects. I was like, I want her to, you know, show her face too. So, but yeah, I feel good tonight too. So, yeah, I was looking forward to this. So.
But that is what's up. But like I said, no person left behind. So she better have joined the podcast tonight. That's the way I'm saying it. I would be disappointed if she wasn't here. But for guys, if you were just joining us, like I said, we will get into this deep in a minute. But I'm going to tell you what I was talking about as far as we always have to support each other. Because, you know, I come prepared. And the last time I was there, I bought these 3 books. These 3 manga. And I'm aware that there's a 4th one that is out now. We can talk about that a little bit later. I was actually brushing up on them a little bit because it had been a while since I read them. Just in case there was any information we had to get into tonight. But, like I said, guys, there's just so much talent here right now. I don't know if you've seen their animation. First of all, Puryear Digital Media on Instagram and their social media platforms, y'all need to go check that stuff out because their stuff is really, really good. And if you are a small business and, you know, you're definitely looking for any kind of media or anything, these talented people are the ones you definitely want to contact.
Oh, yeah.
But again, we're going to get deeper into that. And then once we get into that, of course, this is a anime/cartoon debate podcast. So you guys are going to be going on the hot seat. So I hope y'all are ready for that as well.
All right.
Yeah, I'm ready. Oh, yeah.
She's like, I don't know, I'm a little nervous. You know, we won't try to make it too hot for you, Queen. It's okay.
No, I'm good.
But the first thing that we always get into on the podcast, and we're going to go ahead and just switch right into it, is we always talk about the week that was. This is just an opportunity that we have to just talk about anything that isn't necessarily anime or something that just happened in the past week that may have resonated with you or anything that you guys seen out there. So you know what? Camille, ladies first, I'm going to start with you. Is there anything in the past week that has really touched you or that you've really found interesting?
In terms of like anime, comics, and all that, or
just anything. This is the part where we just tap on whatever.
Gee, I gotta think. I'm really hyped for that new Superman movie that's coming out. I know that's not out yet, But that's been pushing a lot of inspiration for me in terms of drawing, sketching. I'm getting back into superheroes again.
You know what the interesting thing about that is? Another thing people about this podcast definitely know about me is that Superman and I, we don't get along that well. I'm not the biggest Superman
Really?
fan. I love superheroes. I love DC. You know, I love Marvel. I like a lot of their stuff. And it isn't even the story of Superman. It isn't like the story or, you know, like Lex Luthor, Lois Lane, or any of the stuff that comes with it. It's just Superman himself. You know,
You think he's too milquetoast? Too much of a Boy Scout?
Is he too good to be true?
Yeah.
no, it's just, and I get that Superman was created a long time ago, but for me, the Superman Clark Kent thing falls in the same category as the Miley Cyrus Hannah Montana thing goes. You know, hey, look at me. Now look at me. You don't recognize me, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Oh, where did they just go?
At least she changed her hair color. Superman literally is just glasses. I'm different. I'm Clark now.
It's still just a wig, though. It's just, even with Hannah Montana. It's like, and I actually love Hannah Montana, but it's like, it's just a wig. You know?
It is, yeah.
Kudos to them, though, because I will say the only thing that I felt like, and one of the Superman movies actually did this, where she, I forget which one, where she got close up on Superman and actually recognized him. And I was like, thank you, because that is so stupid that you don't recognize somebody that doesn't wear a mask.
Yeah, they don't do that enough, which is weird. You would think that would just be ubiquitous. Like, they would just reference that at least. Somebody would recognize him, but...
No, this is how they go. Oh, no, the town is in trouble. What? Where did Clark go? Hey, look, it's a bird, it's a plane, it's Superman. Oh, man, Superman, thank you for saving us. Oh, hey, Clark, guess what you just missed? Every time.
Yeah.
Lois Lane and everybody now are reporters. And they can't figure that out?
I didn't think about that, actually.
Yeah, that's a valid point.
To be fair, in the original Superman movies, Lois did kind of figure it out. She suspected him. She finally started going, you two are never in the same place at the same time.
She does always figure it out for herself eventually.
And she's like, you're Superman, and you know what? I'm going to prove it. I'm going to jump out this window.
Yeah.
You're either going to expose yourself or you're going to let me die.
Yeah.
But the reason I brought that up is because as big as I'm not the biggest Superman fan, I'm actually looking forward to this movie.
Yeah.
Because it looks interesting.
It looks interesting, and I'm kind of interested to see where DC goes after just kind of, I don't want to say cutting ties with Zack Snyder. What would be the right word? Just moving on to the era. Yeah, James Gunn era, moving on to a new era. Kind of want to see what direction they go.
Yeah, because I think some people might be worried that he might do exactly too much of what he did over there at Marvel, which is, you know, it's one of the reasons they wanted him in the first place, but you also don't want to mirror what you did over there either. You want to do something good, but also take that new direction.
Yeah, but I think I'm optimistic because Peacemaker was pretty good, and it didn't feel too much like a Marvel movie, TV show. It felt like he was trying to work with the DC universe, you know, their vibes.
No, I definitely didn't have a problem with Peacemaker, but no, you're right. I will let that count as something in the past because they just keep dropping trailers. I hope they're done with trailers though, because at this point they're just going to give away the whole movie.
Yeah, exactly. The movie comes out in like a week or two. So,
yes.
Man.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Prince, what about you? Anything in the past week that you've touched on?
Well, for me, I guess I've been binging the show, King of the Hill to be specific, but it's only because they're gonna bring back that you heard the new season, so I was like, let me binge watch. So I had like a greater appreciation for the show because I'm watching it again like as an adult, so it's like you pick up on more of the context and stuff. So yeah, that's my main thing right now. What I've been
and I kind of feel bad for King of the Hill because, like I said, their voice actors are just dropping left and right, and it's almost like I don't even know how they're gonna be able to do this going forward now because it was like they already knew they were going into it without the voice actors for Luann because Brittany Murphy died years ago.
Yeah.
And then they were well within recording the first season of the new one when the voice of Dale passed away. So I don't even think he finished the season.
Yeah.
So,
but I guess that's the thing though. Like when they revive these older shows, they never normally have like the same voice actors to begin with. So I think
this one did though. That was the thing.
Yeah.
Like he voiced half the season before he passed away.
Yeah. What do you think they do? You think they're gonna like AI his voice or something?
Oh my goodness.
I think they'd have to get his permission to do that.
I was about to say, if they get the family's permission and the estate's permission and the estate is compensated for it,
yeah,
then I don't see why not. Because at least then you're still the family's still getting paid off of whatever's going on.
Right.
But if not that, I don't know. And then of course, we just recently lost the voice actor for John Redcorn, so I don't know what kind of a role he was necessarily going to play in the revival, but that's the thing about these long-running shows is that you can't voice these roles forever.
Yeah.
Right? Even The Simpsons, they've been lucky enough. They've been on since 1989, and they've been lucky enough to at least the core group is still alive. They got like a small actor here or there, that have passed away, and then the voice of Milhouse just actually retired last year.
Oh.
Because you've been doing this since 1989. At some point, you don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, like, if you listen to the voice of Marge, what's her name? Julie Caver, I think. She's an amazing voice actress, but you can hear her voice changing over the seasons, and it sounds like she's starting to struggle a little more.
And that's going to happen because even our normal voices, they change as we get older. There's kid voice, there's teenage voice, there's early 20s voice, and there's going to be like 50s voice.
Yeah.
And it gets harder and harder to do those voices. But they've been on, for over 30 years. They're on like 35 years or so. I don't know. At what point do they just finally say, you know what, we've milked this as long as we can?
Yeah. Well, what do they call it? Simpsons fans, they call these new seasons Zombie Simpsons or something like that.
Yeah, really?
Is that what they call them?
Zombie Simpsons. Yeah, the season grouping. I don't know. That's what my friend told me. He loves Simpsons, so that's where I hear everything from.
See, I think at this point, because there's been some people that are like, how is The Simpsons even still on the air and how have they not gotten canceled yet? And I think at this point, Simpsons for a lot of people is just appointment television. Whether they still think it's good or it's not, there's a lot of people in this world that at least for over 20 years are just so used to turning their TV on Fox on Sundays at 7 o'clock and it's either on in the background or whatever. So at some point, that's just in your brain. It's like, oh, it's Sunday, it's Simpsons night. Right.
And then you already know they're going to keep Simpsons alive because they keep predicting the future. Or at least that's,
Here's the thing about predicting the future, though. I get that, and it's fun to play around with. But when you've had like 1,000 episodes of saying different things that could happen in the future, some of those are gonna stick. We focus so much on the things they've said that have come true, and not enough on the several things they've said that did not come true.
Okay. That's a good way to look at it too. Yeah.
But it's still fun, so I let them have it.
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like the stuff they did get right, like it's like a very small like percentage for them to even, I don't know. It's just very coincidental. I'll put it like that.
Yeah, the book said, "Let's go." Yes, sir. Is that one of y'all people?
Oh yeah. That's family right there.
I would definitely welcome in. Yes, we got some legends on the podcast here tonight. Enough of myself as far as the past week. It's been a couple of things. Number one, if you're a basketball fan, congratulations to the Oklahoma City Thunder for winning the NBA championship. And the domino effect that has happened after that. They've already been so many trades. The draft was last night.
Yeah. Man, I ain't gonna lie. I kind of wanted the Pacers to win it, but yeah.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Tyrese Halliburton literally tore his Achilles in the first 7 minutes of Game 7. And
he was about to go off too, though.
And he was going off before he got hurt.
He was about to go off. Yeah. He would have had like a 30-point night.
He would have needed to. In Oklahoma City, that was what it was going to take.
Game 7, he would have showed up for sure.
So, like, I talked to my brother about this. I said that is going to go down as one of the biggest what ifs in sports.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? The Thunder maybe win anyway, but we'll never know. Yeah. Yeah, Sabo said Pacers would have won if Hallie didn't get hurt.
All right.
Hey, look. First of all, I'm a fan of Hallie, mainly because of what he went through. His own teammates, his own peers in the league voted this man most overrated last year.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
And all he did was go to the NBA Finals.
Yeah, that's all. Hey, that's all the motivation you need right there. That's all the motivation you need right there.
Yeah, go straight to the finals and was a torn Achilles away from possibly winning the whole thing.
Yeah.
But you talk about the Simpsons predicting the future and how these weird things happen. What about that? Because I'm sure you've seen that pop up in the Eastern Conference playoffs alone. You know, we lost Tyrese Halliburton, we lost Damian Lillard, and we lost Jason Tatum, all to Achilles tears.
Yeah.
All in the same postseason.
They're like, people are saying they should reduce like the regular season, which I think they should too. It shouldn't be 82 games. I don't think it should be 82. And it's just like, and then they're in their 20s. You know what I mean? Like they're tearing ligaments in their 20s, and it's like.
But the craziest thing about all three of those players tearing their Achilles in the same postseason that they all wear number 0. I said you can't make this stuff up.
Okay. I didn't even think of that.
That's one of the craziest coincidences. All three of them tore their Achilles in the playoffs in the Eastern Conference, and their teams ended up getting eliminated, and all three of them were number 0. They all got the same injury.
That's crazy. Yeah. Dang. Who else wear number 0? What other superstar?
Shout out to my guy Prince and his epic brand. Yes, definitely shout out Pink.
Oh, who that was?
Someone's definitely doing some root work in the background. Who's doing some root work in the background?
What do you mean?
I don't know what that means.
I know. I need some. I need some elaboration on that.
I need a translation. Yeah.
Now, while we try to solve that mystery down in the chat, I will say that do y'all have a favorite NBA team? Y'all big on basketball at all?
Wait, say that again. What was the question?
Do y'all have a favorite NBA team?
Oh, I don't have a specific team. I'm more so like players. So, but if I got a team, I guess I
thought you just rep Atlanta.
No. Nah. No.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll probably go Lakers, honestly, because I like LeBron. So yeah.
Yeah, I'll probably go Warriors just because my family.
Warriors. One second. So I will say Hawks, sadly. So does nobody want to claim the Atlanta Hawks?
Ain't nobody claiming them?
No, I'm going.
What's good, Ghost? You said it's the podcast mono track this time around? No. He's just running on black people time. He will be here eventually. See, they know. I swear, it's sad when they know. Oh no, but another thing that also has been happening lately is one thing, Queen, that you talked about, the Superman trailer. Have any of y'all been watching Ironheart?
I haven't, to be honest.
That's with the black girl?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I haven't watched that yet.
The last Marvel thing I watched was Thunderbolts, which came out recently, but before that, it was literally Infinity or Endgame. I didn't watch anything between
You missed an entire phase.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I was like, eh. Oh, and you know what? That's a lie. I saw Thor: Love and Thunder, and yeah. We don't talk about that.
Gotcha. Oh no, you're talking about the audio. It's because I got it on a different track this time because we're expecting more people this week, Ghost. That's why. So everyone's running on the same track this week. At the very least, to defend my girl Riri. Yes. Look, because I've been kind of off and on a lot of them, because there's been a lot of Marvel series coming out lately. But I will say this: look, I'm going to support the black ones. I'm just going to say it. So,
yeah.
It is 3 episodes in right now. So it's not too far away. I think they drop every Wednesday or Thursday. I think the new one just dropped either yesterday or today. I haven't watched that one yet, but I have watched the first 2, most definitely.
What platform is on?
Platform? Oh, Disney Plus.
Disney Plus. Okay.
Yeah, that's where all the Marvel stuff is, because the mouse owns Marvel.
Yeah.
The mouse will take us all.
Yeah. It's all praise to Mighty Mickey Mouse. He owns everything. Hey, I mean, if he ever wants to sponsor this podcast, I'll let him do it though.
All right.
I'm trying to pay that.
have the little logo in the top.
Absolutely. Look, Disney. I'm gonna say this for Disney. If y'all want to sponsor your boys, we will put a logo in the corner. I promise I will stop trashing on Beauty and the Beast. I will stop making jokes about Bambi's mom. I will stop doing all of that. If you want to just come sponsor this podcast, Disney. The podcast is real.
The podcast is real!
But nah, like, again, now that we got a bunch of people in here, let me go back to the chat real quick, because we appreciate everybody that is out right now for the podcast. I do also want to take this time, as we say every week, that the podcast is currently trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. If we are able to get to 1,000 subscribers soon, our very own friend, little sis Summer Drew, is doing a 1,000 subscriber challenge for the YouTube page. If we can get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of July, she is going to put on her Emma Frost cosplay, and she is going to recreate the Emma Frost emote from that video game, Jiggle and all. Her words, not mine. And she wants to do that special for her fans. So if you guys would love to see that cosplay and emote, you should definitely go ahead and subscribe to the podcast. Also, if you just love the podcast, you should subscribe to the podcast. But you should also tell everybody else as well. You should tell your friends. You should tell your enemies. You should tell your ex. You should tell your baby mamas. You know, if you put letters in the mail, make sure you put in there to go ahead and subscribe to the podcast is real. We'll take all the help we can get at this point, because we want to continue to grow, and we want to go ahead and start getting paid for this podcast. So the sooner we can get it monetized, absolutely the better. So everybody, right now. Oh, Lazy, what's good? Hey, what's going on? Hadn't seen you in here in a while. Definitely welcome in. Salute. So we are now at the part of the podcast where usually when we have cosplayers on, we do a showcase. But since we don't have any podcasters on this time, what we're going to be doing instead is we're just going to go ahead and go straight to what I like to call the self-glazing part of the podcast, which is where we give our guests the floor to let everybody know who they are and what they're about. So this is the Who Are Puryear Digital Media portion of the podcast. Prince, since you are the creator, I am going to start with you to just kind of just let anybody who may not know who you guys are, definitely let them know the floor is yours.
Well, yeah. So, yeah, my name is Prince. Puryear Digital Media, that's the brand. Basically, what I do is digital animations, comics, anything in the digital space like logos, illustration, graphic design. I specialize in all that. So, and I also went to school for digital animation specifically. And basically what Puryear Digital Media is about is bringing creatives ideas to life, from like small business owners, content creators, and so forth. But yeah, that's it right there. Yeah.
Okay, Queen, anything you want to add?
Yeah, it's really a pleasure to be able to work with Puryear. I really appreciate what he's doing for creatives, because it joins together I guess, business-minded people and, artists, artsy fartsy types like me together, and it kind of puts us together and to work on just projects, build our portfolio, build a community, which I think is like the most important thing. Because I mean, if you don't have each other as artists, then how are you going to be able to grow your art? You gotta build off other people in a way. So
that part. And when it came to creating Puryear Digital Media, what made you come up with this idea that this was something that you definitely wanted to do?
So I think originally I started with my comic book first, and then from there I was like, I need to, maybe if I'm gonna keep writing, I need to have a brand or something associated with it. So then I came up with like the whole brand idea, and then I was in school at the time, so being in school, my professor kind of helped the class come up with our own personal branding and whatnot, coming up with like logos, the naming and all that. And then I guess from there I kind of, over the years, I kind of had like developed a vision for kind of how I could see how to expand my own brand and make it more just about myself. So yeah.
So basically, yeah, you have a lot of talents, and you definitely want to share those talents with the world. You definitely gotta love it. And with the digital that you do, the 2D animation, I'm actually putting some up on the screen now for some people that can watch the podcast. Like you said, he definitely has a couple of mangas out, and we're about to talk about those here in just a minute. As I just want to go ahead and flash some stuff up on the screen for you guys. Because again, now that we're live, these are just 3 of the 4 books that he has come out with. The Blackout series. So as I kind of show some people up there on the screen, tell us a little bit about the Blackout series.
Okay. Well, yeah, so Blackout, it's an anime inspired, like, manga story. Starts off with a city that gets destroyed by a group of bad guys. Nobody knows where the bad guys come from. An old man comes through the city. He lives on the outskirts of the city. He comes through the city, finds 2 boys. He takes them in as his own. They train. They go on adventures. They meet allies and they run into enemies. And I'm not gonna like go into like the ending yet because it's still, the storyline is still going. But like it has like a plot twist at the end. I think right now, I think the Blackout is coming on the tournament arc. So yeah.
See that, guys? Very anime inspired. Anytime you hear the words tournament arc, you definitely got to tune in. Yeah. And yes, it does definitely start with a training arc, weight suits and all, guys. So I'm telling you, it's definitely got a lot of the traits of the animes and mangas that you guys have loved in the past. The mystery, the old wise teacher, the training, fighting, tournaments, the friends, the curiosity. Like, it's definitely all there, you guys. And like I said, you could definitely, I got it up on the screen right now, the picture for at least the first 3 volumes, which are the ones I have right here, which I've kind of got them flipped around now, but that's okay. I got them up on the screen as well. Yeah. At some point, I am going to get volume 4 because, for me, I always got to see how things are continuing to go. But for everybody else,
I got a volume 4. I could show it. Yeah. So yeah, volume 4.
See,
right
guys,
there.
that's the complete set if we put them all together.
Yeah.
And of course, I also put volume 4 up on the screen as well. These are all available now on Amazon, guys. So don't tell me you guys don't use Amazon, because everybody uses Amazon at this point.
Right.
In fact, Amazon's about to have their annual sale the first week of July. So when you're on there taking advantage of their first week of July sales, go ahead and pick up Blackout while you're at it.
Yeah.
What's the next event for Puryear Media? Pink is asking in the chat.
Okay. Yeah, the next event is going to be July 18th to the 20th. ATL Comic Con. It's going to be at the Georgia World Congress Center, Atlanta, Georgia. So yeah, that's going to be our next one. And I'm also I'm also doing a children's book event too for some of the younger kids who like comics as well. That's gonna be July 19th. Yeah.
Okay, so just all in the same weekend.
Yeah. Yeah. We we're going in overdrive a little bit. Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that because look, the people who grind the hardest are the ones that see the most success. So
right.
I'm definitely here for it. And as we've also talked about, guys, that it isn't just the mangas that he does. He also does 2D animation. So I also want to ask, are you ever planning on trying to completely bring your Blackout books to life via 2D animation?
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure, yeah. Like, you're talking about like full length episodes.
Yes.
Type thing? Yeah. We're yeah. That's gonna take however much time. I think it just depends on I guess how business looks like, picking up projects, whatnot, and production and budget. So like, I guess the bigger production I have, the easier it'll be. Because right now, I think we have like a small team, so we work on like smaller scale projects right now. But once it like expands and we get there, then I could make that like lengthy, the lengthy stuff, and produce it like a more like professional type of like commercial type.
Right. Yeah. Once you get that back, and that way you can kind of expand the team a little bit.
Right.
Okay. Jay Larkin in the chat said, any live action on the way?
We don't. I don't have nothing planned, not yet. My good friend, he does like he does the live action stunts and stuff. That's on my Instagram page now. And he does like the cosplay for the main character. He also voices the main character in the animations as well. But he just moved over to the West Coast, so I don't think we got anything planned right now. If he was over here, we probably could have pushed some stuff out this year. But he had just made like a big move to the West Coast to, do his whole stunt acting gig.
That's what's up. Pink says, I'm loving the crossover characters.
Okay. Yeah, the character crossovers. Yeah.
I will say this, because and I definitely mean this. Keep grinding, keep pushing. I want to see these books grow. I want to see you guys grow. I want to see people cosplaying your characters at cons.
Right. Yeah. I had that's funny. So one day at the at Anime Weekend Atlanta, so my friend, he was cosplaying the main character, and I went up to like a random person. I was like, hey, I'll give you $5 if you can tell me who that is, who he dressed up as. And he was stuck for like 10 minutes. He was like, I feel like it looks familiar. I don't know. He's like, you gotta tell me. I had walked him over to the booth. He actually had got a comic book too.
Yeah. Somebody recorded all of this, right?
Nah. I think
that would have been good content for promotion.
Yeah, I need to do that. I need to do that next time. That's a really good idea. Yeah.
Because you could have had everybody else guessing as well, and because now that intrigue pops in when they're trying to figure something out, and it's like, oh, that's an original character from what? And then you point them back over there, and now you got them. Now you got to do is just finish the hook. I mean, I know I don't have to tell you, but yeah, I love that. But I wish somebody was at least off to the side recording all of that. That would have been good for the socials.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so other than, like you said, the Comic-Con is coming up, is there any other projects that you're working on?
Yeah, so I'm working on it's a independent project that I was commissioned to, work on at the beginning of this year. So I've been working on that on the side right now. And one of my like normal clients, I believe he's supposed to be getting back with me maybe like in a month or two. He does like children's books, and I bring his books to life. So, but other than that, I plan to meet more people at the conventions and stuff. See if anybody wants content made and stuff. So,
gotcha. Because you also do music as well, right?
Music, like
Not like making songs, but like like themes, like the music in your videos and stuff.
Oh, so my guy Luca, he actually does my music production. So he does.
Okay.
Yeah, he'll score the film or whatever animated stuff I send him. He composes the music for it, and then he'll kind of like level the voices, and then he also does the sound effects for the cartoons. Yeah.
Okay, so you basically got you an in-house producer there then as part of your team. I see.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I met him. I had met him. He mainly does like production for like artists and stuff too. So yeah, he's like on the music industry side of things.
Okay, look, like I said, it looks like you got a full team together, and the more you grow, the better it gets. But again, you got a member of your team at the bottom of my screen right now. Queen, is there not anything else that you want to add? Like, look, I feel like we're glazing him enough.
She got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, about my own personal work or for Puryear,
Look, you're here. Take this opportunity to promote. This stuff's gonna go out on all our socials when it's over.
Yeah.
All
right. I have first of all, I'm a digital painter mostly. I work on like illustrations. Currently I'm doing a lot of surreal stuff. You can find me on my website. It's eigallery.com. But I also have an Instagram. It's e.iart. And it just has, a taste of my stuff. I think my website has more than my Instagram, but yeah, I'm just, painting, illustrating, getting myself in on projects wherever I can. I just graduated college like a month ago, so I'm still kind of like, I don't know exactly what I'm going to do, but, it's definitely going to be something creative. Probably like illustrations for like card games, tabletop games, and obviously working on stuff with Puryear because I really like doing background art, which I didn't realize until I started working with you. But
hey, see, you have to find another passion.
Yeah,
exactly. So I don't know if you want me to screen share or whatever, but
no, you're fine. But if you wanted to,
yeah,
what is that? What is that social for yours? I'm gonna drop it in the chat.
Yeah, it's let me make sure I'm getting exactly because I also don't post on Instagram nearly enough.
Oh, well, that's something we gotta fix. Instagram is a great tool.
Let's see here. Yeah, it's e.i and then art, and that's all one word,
so
no spaces.
I art, so e.iart.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm definitely, so there it is, e.art. Crossover characters fire. They're loving the crossover characters. The second comment we've got about it.
Which one they like?
They're not saying anything in particular. They just keep saying crossover characters. Can you guys be a little more specific? I'm sure they would love to know which crossover characters you guys are referring to.
Yeah. I'm still trying to decipher that.
I know. It's like, yeah, don't be cryptic this week in chat. I'm telling you guys right now. But no, between everything it's saying that you're good at with your illustrations and all of that stuff, and you guys together, it seems like y'all are going to be making a whole lot of magic out there. You're going to be doing cards. That's really fascinating. So are you just going to be doing like trading card games or just like regular card games?
Trading card games, I already worked on one. It was locale TCG. I just reached out. I was really stuck for a second there, and I was like, I really need to get on something. And I just reached out to them, and they're like, yeah, sure. So I did some illustrations for them. I do a lot of private commissions. I did a poster for Blackout, actually. So yeah,
really?
Yeah, it's on my Instagram, which I forgot.
I think I still got your other poster, by the way.
Oh, you still do?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Cool. You say.
Thanks for telling me, because I'm trying to tell people where they can find your work. So that's why I'm trying to get you in here. Look, we're trying to get you on another level here.
Yeah. Then yeah, for an artist, I'm kind of a to myself kind of person. Not like I don't enjoy talking to people, but I'm kind of like I don't put myself out there as much as I need to, especially in this industry. But I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
That's okay.
I feel like a lot of like artists, creatives are kind of like that. At least like I know a lot of my classmates were kind of like that too. Like more introverted and stuff.
Yeah, introvert's definitely the word.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time, like, despite what my actions may show them sometimes, like being out at these cons, these after parties and things like that, I'm still very introverted. Like, I go out to these things because sometimes I'm networking, sometimes I just like to have fun because I'm on vacation. But the thing that people don't ever notice a lot of times when I'm out at these places is they might see me out there partying with everyone else, and then they might blink and wonder where I went. Because I just got to get away from everybody for a while.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta be able to like turn that switch off.
Yes, sir. Guys, and I also want to say this: definitely stay on your gifts and your talents, because one of the things I used to do growing up was draw. I used to draw all the time growing up, and I will pat myself on the back. I used to be pretty damn good at it, and I used to just do it. That was my thing. There were times growing up where I wanted to be a cartoonist. There was a time where I created like my own comic books. Like I did all of that stuff growing up. But then there came like this switch in my life where I just stopped drawing. And like I have pictures of a lot of my earlier work on various social medias. And I remember one day a few years back, I was like, I haven't drawn in years. Let me pull out a piece of paper and see if I can still do it. And it wasn't necessarily the fact that I couldn't do it, but I was realizing that I wasn't being able to do it as fluidly and as fast as I used to be able to do it. So it's definitely one of those talents that if you stop doing it after a while, you can, if you don't use it, you lose it. That's what they like to say.
Yeah, there's a period where I was starting to lose it because I don't know. I guess same thing that happened to you. I just stopped drawing for a minute there, and I was like, I think I'm gonna get into engineering or something instead. But I kept with it. I don't know what made me decide to, but I'm glad I did because it's cathartic.
I was the same way. I guess we all got something in common. We all had had an art break. Mine's but yeah, I guess I stopped drawing like going into like I guess high school. Going into high school, I was more so. I guess I started focusing more like on sports, so I didn't really balance the two. I kind of just tunnel vision one.
Yeah. My high school art teacher used to be very frustrated with me because I'll admit it, I was pretty lazy in high school. Like, I'm not gonna lie, especially in art class. But there was another parent that was in the art class too. She wasn't in on the class, but she was in there with a special needs kid. So she was always in there to make sure he was okay. And I would talk to her sometimes. And one day she told me, because I know the teacher used to always get on me, and she's like, you know why she's always getting on you, right? She said, because she's frustrated with you. And I was just like, frustrated? She's like, yeah, because she sees your talent. And you come in here half the time and you don't work. And I didn't understand it at first, but then I noticed there would be days where they would give us like this big, like portrait, like project they want us to do, where they would be like, they would pick some kind of like beauty landscape and they would want us to try to draw it like photorealistic, with sketches and all of that stuff. And they would say no pressure because it's high school. And it was like, you got 2 weeks to do the project. And I would go in there every day and just do nothing but talk to my friends. And I wouldn't do the project at all. And she would get upset. And she's like, you need to do the project. I'm like, yeah, whatever. And everyone's just working on it every day. It got to the point where it was like, you only got 2 days left to do this. I'm like, okay, I guess I get to it. Still didn't get to it. Got to the final date. It was like, it's due at the end of class. I was like, fine. I pulled out the paper, did the entire thing in 1 day and got an A.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
And so that was, I think I finally understood when they were bringing that back at me, because I wasn't realizing that at the time the meet was just kind of like, all right, I guess I'll do this. But then when I finally sat back and looked at it, I was like, I can see why they would be frustrated with that, because if I had the capability of doing something in a 2-week project in a day and be that good at it, like, think if I just really, really focused and stuff like that. So I started taking my drawing pretty seriously for a while there, but then I became an adult and adulting happened and life happened, and drawing wasn't always the only thing I always wanted to do, because while I always loved to draw growing up, the thing I loved more is entertaining people. Like, and I get that from my dad, so content creation has always been my number one love. I took theater arts in high school as well.
Okay.
And that was, I tell people this all the time. It's almost embarrassing to tell people this at this point, but my YouTube page dates all the way back to 2008 when I was a baby.
Okay. So you got some stuff on there you probably regret.
I could easily take it down, but at this point, why?
Yeah, those are memories. So
they're cringy memories. That's what they are.
Yeah, I mean, I have
some of these things don't age well. Memories. That's what these things are. But
it shows growth. It shows growth.
I remember I had some old AV videos from high school and middle school still uploaded on my YouTube, and I haven't taken them down, even though they're less than great. But I don't know. It's nice to look back on, your old stuff. I even still have, I think I have it in this drawer here, all of my old sketches from when I was in middle school.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Gotta show that.
Yeah.
And while you're showing that, I'll just throw on the fact that I still have, not only do I have all my old videos on my computer dating all the way back to 2008, I still have all the rough drafts of the videos dating all the way back to 2008, like pre-edited, outtakes.
You was video edited in 2008?
It's not as easy as it is now. Now these programs practically do it for you.
Yeah.
I was video editing when you had to video edit.
Yeah.
Like green screening in 2008, yeah, that was something I was doing. And that was back where you either had to have like a $200 program or you just had to know how to do it the hard way. I knew how to do it the hard way.
Yeah, I found some. This might be from freshman year of high school, but this is some real old sketches.
Okay.
And I thought it's a lot of like just practicing. It's a lot. I forgot how much I really just doodled studies and stuff, but yeah.
If that's your idea of doodling, then I need to get on your level.
This one's more serious, but yeah, I think most of this was done in class when I should have been paying attention.
Hey, that's when you make your best art.
Yeah,
you were definitely advanced because everybody else was doing cubes and the little S.
Yes,
and you out there making masterpieces as I'm looking at.
Yeah, I remember making this one in AV class. Yeah, so it's nice to look back on these old things. So I don't throw away really anything unless it's taking up space on my computer. But
that part, because I also have old videos dating back to 2008, 2009 on my computer that never got posted because I got done with them, that got in the editing process, and I said, there's no way in hell I'm putting this on. Sometimes you just got to know about your own work even ahead of time. And that stuff will never see the light of day. Someone's going to have to break into my house.
Yeah, no, there's some things where it's like, I don't need to come out of the vault.
I definitely hear that. But no, again, guys, Puryear Digital Media. You can find them at that website. You can find that at the Instagram page. You guys got other pages too that I noticed y'all don't really use that much. Cause I saw like a Twitter page. I saw a YouTube page.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I got I'm gonna start back on the YouTube page for sure. I think I had got caught. I think I was working on another project, so I kind of slowed down. But yeah, I'm definitely trying to collab and get like another animator on my team as well. So production.
Yes.
I think how fast you can produce, because nowadays like stuff is taking like so long to produce, and it's not even a good amount of episodes. Yeah.
They definitely don't do like the 27 episode seasons anymore. Now you're lucky if you get 12.
Yeah. Right.
And then they'll be gone for like 2 years. And then they'll come back with another season. It was not always that way.
Yeah.
But we're also seeing how expensive this animation is starting to look. I guess that stuff just takes a lot longer.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
The projects are costing like just everything, even like video games, especially. Not to change topic, but like GTA 6 is like what? Did it hit 1 billion or is it still in the millions? I might be making.
It may have hit 1 billion. I mean,
yeah.
GTA
I wouldn't be
5 was out for like a decade, so
I wouldn't be surprised if it said 1 billion.
But yeah, that's a lot of money to have to make back, and like tenfold.
Well,
they will.
They will. For GTA 5, like I said, the lifespan was a decade. For over a decade for GTA 5. It was the biggest game they ever did. It was one of the biggest games that's ever been released. I think it's one of, if not the highest selling game of all time.
Yeah.
So that's why there's a lot of pressure on them for GTA 6, and they know it. They want to make sure they get this right.
Game... Well,
they want to make sure they get this right.
After I saw their 3 main writers left the company all within like the creation of GTA 6, it's still not out yet. With it being delayed, I'm a little skeptical, and I'm starting to see some people who are also a little skeptical online. But we'll see. I don't know. I really hope it's good, but the way games are coming out now.
Funny story, and then we'll definitely get ready to put you guys on the hot seat. But yeah, that hot seat's still coming.
Right.
A few weeks ago on the podcast, back when GTA still had a release date of 2025 this year, we were talking about video games, and the guest that we had on at the time was like, GTA 6 coming out this year, right? Later in a few months. I said, it's not coming out this year. Because like, did they change the date? I just said, I'll believe it when I see it. I don't think it's coming out this year. The very next morning, they announced that they pushed it back to next year.
Yep.
Well, they said you jinxed it.
I somehow feel like it's my fault.
It is your fault.
No, my family and friends my whole life have always said that they get mad at me because apparently I speak things into existence a lot. So they don't like when I talk about things anymore.
I mean, you just got to say more positive things.
That's all I got to do it on purpose. I just speak my mind, and I'll just be like, as far as I know, this will end up happening, then that'll just end up happening.
Yeah, I guess we're still on the air.
Everything's kind of going on. We're having some technical difficulties right now, everybody. So just give us a quick second.
Oh yeah, all right.
Okay. There it is. Okay. Yeah, everything kind of fell out for a second, but we're back.
Okay. All right.
But what I was gonna say is, I said for once, since everyone says I speak stuff into existence, I said I've never played the lottery before. I'm going to play the lottery for the first time. I'm only going to play once, and I'm going to win. And I finally was like, I'm going to pick a date. I'm not going to do it yet. I waited, and I was like, all right, now I'm going to play. I'm going to play this lottery, and I'm going to win. I played the lottery, and I won $23. I should have been more specific on how much I was going to win.
Yeah. Well, did they give you a little like motivation to try again?
Nah, at that point, I'm like, you know what? Quit while you're ahead. That's how you become a gambler.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't blame you.
Because I've always wanted to go to Vegas too. And I've always said I don't want to go to Vegas for the good reasons. I always said I want to go to Vegas so I can go lose my money in shame and come back with a lot of stories. But then I've gotten older, and I don't know if I want to do that anymore. Still want to go to Vegas. Just the other part.
It's Sin City. Is there any good, morally right reason to go?
I have friends out there.
Yeah, I guess that is true. This is Vice City, so
Yeah, so
no
that is
shame in that.
definitely always going to be a reason to go.
Yeah.
But I have up on the screen right now, you guys might not see it right away because I know there's a delay on the podcast, but what I have up right now, you guys, is straight from their page to ask about their services. As you can see right here, graphic design, illustration, animation. You definitely want to contact you. The link is down there at the bottom. If there's anything you want, if you're a business that's looking for some animation or any kind of graphic design, make sure you hit these ultra talented Black creators up.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and let that simmer real quick because I think we've done enough glazing for tonight, and it's time to get on the hot seat.
Right.
Dang, we're not gonna let this die down.
Yes, because see, anybody that has come through to our podcast, we have this ongoing debate that we do on here, and we get everybody's tallies. So the two of you, I want to make sure if you're on the right side of history. And Prince, I'm going to start with you. So say it with your chest: Nickelodeon or Cartoon Network?
I gotta go Cartoon Network. It hurts a little bit, but you gotta go Cartoon Network. It do hurt a little bit, but yeah, Cartoon Network. More bangers.
I was about to say, tell them why. We always give our reasons. Let them know.
Yeah.
Let them know in the chat why Cartoon Network.
I mean, yeah, it got it more bangers. Like it got like with Nickelodeon, it was like SpongeBob, Jimmy Neutron for me, and like Fairly Odd Parents sometimes. And then they had like other shows, but other shows was nothing like like maybe like Samurai Jack or like Ben 10, even like Kids Next Door. Like they got so much stuff. Billy and Mandy, like you can go on. They had like so much stuff. So I think Nickelodeon really just like outnumbered when it comes to like really good cartoons.
Okay, you heard that, Queen. What about you?
I gotta go Cartoon Network. I mean, it's just more consistent. I say this as a kid who used to like watch Nickelodeon like way more than everything else. That was just because of SpongeBob, but you gotta think like
SpongeBob carried.
It really it was a crazy carry. But you gotta think like Cartoon Network actually had more shows that were good, but also Cartoon Network's the reason channels like Adult Swim exist. Like without Cartoon Network, adult animation wouldn't even be like, no one would care. I mean, I shouldn't say no one would care, but it would have been a lot harder for adult animation to be where it is now. But yeah, Nickelodeon, you have like Hey Arnold for the old stuff, Rugrats, and you have their live action shows, I think kind of makes up for it. But Cartoon Network is, in terms of cartoons at least, they're the way to go. But if you want just like teen sitcom stuff, you go to Nickelodeon.
Well, yeah, when it comes to teen sitcom stuff, because you can't. Cartoon Network doesn't have those.
It tried, and
you would be comparing Nickelodeon to the Disney Channel if you were doing the live action stuff.
They tried in the 2010s, and I think they still have maybe one or two shows.
Like that one freaking show they did. What was it?
I remember they had a
Destroy show, or was it Destroy, Build, Destroy?
Oh,
they had they had the Ghost Hunters show, and then they had one more, and then they had that video game one.
They had that show reanimated too. It was like the boy, he was talking to the cartoons and like
out of Jimmy's head.
Yeah, I think that's what. Yeah, it was something like that.
Yeah, so they did try the live action, and none of them. I can't think of a single one that took off.
Like you forget about that. Like that's the history of Cartoon Network. You forget about.
Yeah,
and they want you to forget about it.
Yeah.
Destroy, Built, Destroy. Never heard of it. That's what they're saying.
Yeah.
It's funny actually. The guy who played one of the characters in that video game show they had, he ended up being the actor for A-Train in The Boys, which is random.
Wow. And he been in a lot more stuff too. So.
Yeah, I didn't know how much stuff he had been in.
Yeah.
Aside from The Boys, so.
No, the only place where they had some kind of success with live action stuff would be Adult Swim, because they did have their fair share of live action stuff on Adult Swim late night. But as far as regular Cartoon Network, that they realized pretty quickly that
it's not gonna work.
Nobody wants to see live action on something called Cartoon Network. Adult Swim was different. You know, if you were up late and you were an adult and you were in the right mindset or on the right kind of drugs, like you were going to enjoy what they were giving you on Adult Swim. Some of that stuff was just like you had to be in the right mind frame to look at, though. Yeah. Like to this day, and we talked about this last week. I don't know why I would like a show like Aqua Teen Hunger Force, but I did. You know, like, I don't know why I would like a show like C-Lab 2021, but I watched it every night. So it's like
my favorite show is Space Goes Coast to Coast.
Space Goes Coast to Coast all day,
that kills me
every day. By the way, R.I.P.
Oh yeah. That was so sad. Yeah. But
I was all about that because I also used to watch Cartoon Planet before I even knew about Space Goes Coast to Coast. Because
I forgot all about that.
Yeah, I forgot.
Cartoon Planet.
Yeah.
I mean, that's basically where it spun from because there's, you know, it started off with that for the kids, and then they ended up doing Space Goes Coast to Coast for like the older people, and you know that was the big thing about Space Goes Coast to Coast was the first time I watched that I was like, where's Brack? Brack was on Cartoon Planet. Why is he not on Space Goes Coast to Coast? Everyone else is here. And I guess they listened because they ended up just giving Brack his own show, the Brack Show.
Which is pretty funny too.
Yes. Nah, Brack was my guy.
Yeah, I think all of those guys passed, I think. Not to dampen the mood, but Zorak and Moltar and yeah. But it's like what you were saying earlier, you know, you can't keep doing the same roles. I mean, because that show's like 30 years old.
I know Cartoon Planet started in the late 90s.
Yeah.
And Space Goes Coast to Coast, I believe, has been around since at least 2000. So
yeah, I think it's old.
2025.
Yeah. So, you know.
I know Adult Swim started, I believe, in 2001. And they did like a test run for it at like New Year's Day 2000. No, actually, I think it might have started later that year, but they did the test run at New Year's 2000. I know that personally because I was watching Cartoon Network that night when the clock struck midnight, and then all of a sudden these adult cartoons started coming on Cartoon Network. I'm like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, what is this, and why do I want to watch it? What, they're swearing on Cartoon Network? I was like, what else they got?
I think that's how a lot of us got sucked into it.
It's funny because as a kid, I hated Adult Swim just because I was like, no, I want to watch regular show. Why are you cutting it off at like 10, 11, whatever time they did? Like, I'm still up. And the first show they would play was King of the Hill. And so I would hear that first, like, little riff, and I was like, God. Because, like, I didn't realize it was a good show as a kid. I just saw, like, this boring art style, and I was like, this sucks. I'm not watching this.
You can't judge a book by its cover.
Yeah, but I was like 10 at the time, so I just saw like this old white man. I was like, I'm going to Disney Channel. I'm watching Good Luck Charlie.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, not Good Luck Charlie.
Yeah. So I'm not putting up with him.
No, but I mean, if we judged the book by its cover, we wouldn't watch half the stuff that was on Adult Swim because a lot of that just looked weird.
Yeah, no, I mean, I ended up watching like Aqua Teen Hunger Force and Space Goes Coast to Coast and Tim and Eric show and the Eric Andre show.
Yeah, because that's the live action stuff that they had. Like Eric Andre had a show, freaking Tyler the Creator. Like
I used to watch Loiter Squad all the time.
Oh yeah, Loiter Squad.
Yeah.
But that was the place. I used to always feel like when I would see how weird things were on Adult Swim, they were so weird and out there. It always had me thinking, man, I bet I could get a show on Adult Swim. Because I'm just seeing some of the stuff that's on there. I'm like, I swear they're just letting anybody on this channel at late night.
Well, you probably could. Stuff like home videos and 12-ounce mouse. And it's like, what is this?
Home movies.
Home movies. Yeah, not home videos.
Yeah, and then Adult Swim single-handedly revived Family Guy after it was canceled. You know, between it showing reruns on Adult Swim and the DVD sales, they had to bring it back. So yeah. So guys, I hope y'all saw this. Both of them are on the right side of history. Cartoon Network. We're Team Cartoon Network over here as well. And we've been keeping a tally. The Nickelodeon's tally is a little small. I don't know what to tell you guys. I don't know what to tell everybody.
If you're saying Nickelodeon, you gotta be lying to yourself. Like,
Yeah. You say Nickelodeon, you just like sitcoms.
Well, and I can call her out because she's my little sis and she knows I love her to death. Summer Drew said that she picks Nickelodeon because of SpongeBob alone. She said SpongeBob will 1v100 all of Cartoon Network.
Dexter cleared.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Courage cleared.
What, like Cartoon Network this year? Like
just overall.
Like no.
She said she will put SpongeBob up against that entire network and it clears. I like SpongeBob too. Like, don't get me wrong, SpongeBob is the most quoted cartoon of all time. Yeah. But it's not carrying that entire network.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, no. Nah.
It's not. So yeah, it's like you guys said, but that's what a lot of people do because they do have SpongeBob and Avatar, and I'll always give them having SpongeBob and Avatar. Both of those are huge.
I forgot about Avatar, yeah.
And they got a lot of other stuff too. I was a big Fairly Odd Parents guy. In fact, I watch Nickelodeon. I'm not even saying I hate Nickelodeon. I'm just saying in comparison. Come on, guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely sorry, but I will say this. Cartoons are not the only things that we love out there because, of course, we also love anime. And a lot of times this is primarily an anime podcast. And for full disclosure, everybody, like I always say, I went to Prince and I asked him to give me a list of some of his favorite animes and favorite cartoons. And one of the ones that kind of piqued my interest because of a lot of the controversy that comes around it these days is Solo Leveling. So I wanted to come to you real quick, just in general, before I ask you some questions about the anime. What is it about Solo Leveling that you love so much?
I like how it's like a level up concept, specifically for the main character. And I kind of just like how they implement that because I know they stay at the class they're at, but he kind of has like that exception. So it's like, I don't know. I think it's cool how it's like he gets these items and he's leveling up and like people think he's like this, what's it, like an E class or whatever, low rank.
Yeah, he's at the bottom and he's just.
Yeah. So I think that's what I like about it the most. And then kind of like how you kind of see his character development, like you see it a lot because he starts off as like this weak kind of like soft spoken person, and then he turns into like he kind of like Stone Cold now.
Then power would do that to you.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you feel like it deserved Anime of the Year?
I'm not against it. No. Yeah.
Crunchyroll gave it Anime of the Year.
Yeah.
In fact, Crunchyroll gave it a lot of awards.
Yeah.
And a lot of people were not happy about that because a lot of people say they like Solo Leveling, but they don't think it's the greatest thing they've ever seen. And to that, you say what?
I mean, I'm cool. Like, if people have like their own opinions, that's fine. But like, I kind of look at it like there's like, while I'm not against it, it was a great anime. You know what I mean? And it's still continuing. And I don't even think it's like really peaked yet, and I think it's still good in there. So I wouldn't be against them giving it that. But what were the like the runner ups? Do you know?
There were a couple, but I think it was mostly the Free Run fans that were not too happy.
Yeah,
and I've seen Free Run, but I haven't had the chance to really just sit down and go deep into Free Run because I have a lot going on these days. So there's a lot of animes that I catch them when I can. Yeah. And if I find a good day where I'm not doing something, I'll just sit down and I'll pick one and I'll just watch a whole season in like a day and just get caught up. And I'm just looking for that day where I can have the time to completely do that with Free Run so I can give my full opinion on if I feel like it deserved it over Solo Leveling.
Yeah.
And Ghost said, I'm a Free Run guy myself. Okay, Ghost, do you feel like I'm going to put you on the spot because you are at our podcast every week as a loyal viewer, which we definitely appreciate. Do you feel like Solo Leveling deserved to be Anime of the Year over Free Run? go ahead and have him drop that in the chat right there.
What do you think, Camille?
So I'm gonna be honest. I haven't watched anime in a bit. Last one I watched, I think, was Yuru Camp, and yeah, that was a little while ago. I don't know. None of them really interest me. To put it bluntly, like
really, just any other new anime.
Yeah, just I don't know. I see Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm like, Demon Slayer, Sorry.
Nice.
I'm sure they're all great, but I think in general, it's just I'm not a big anime person. Maybe, it really depends. I like the slice of life, kind of like tame, like nothing's really going on type of anime.
Nothing wrong with slice of life. I love a lot of those too.
Yeah, but even those, I don't know. I haven't even watched really any of the big ones. Like I like anime art. I think Japanese artists are like absurd, like how good they are. Japanese and Chinese artists are like
very, very
top of the line. But no, I mean I have anime figures, but they're all like Hatsune Miku, so that's not really like an anime. It's like a little subculture thing. Like
you're not into any of the popular animes or anything like that?
Nah, I can't say.
No JJKs, no One Piece, no Naruto.
I did watch JoJo. I was really obsessed with JoJo for a little bit, actually. Like I got the little stuffed animals and stuff for them and like all that. But like,
man, you wasn't gonna bring that up?
I forgot about that. It's weird because like I'll become obsessed with the most random things. Like I become obsessed with JoJo, and like no other anime I would care about. I would become obsessed with like Green Lantern, just out of nowhere. Become obsessed with like F-Zero GX, a video game. This is random stuff. It doesn't even have to do with like, it's because like it's the new anime. It's just I don't know, but
just as something randomly hits your mind, you just go for it.
Yeah, I just obsessed with it. Even JoJo though, like I didn't finish part 6. I didn't finish reading it or watching it, and I don't think I'm really gonna watch any of the rest of it. Like it's strange. I'm obsessed for like maybe a couple months, and I'm like, I'm done.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, I don't really care.
So I definitely got to ask this then, and I think I'm gonna tread lightly as I ask this. So, any thoughts on Naruto at all?
Naruto? I think I used to catch a couple episodes on like Toonami. Did it come on Toonami?
It did.
Yeah. See, that shows how much I know. But I never like sat down and watched it. Like I know what happens and stuff, but like I never like no.
You're killing me because Naruto's my favorite anime of all time. Like that is my number one. I have Naruto posters on my wall. I cosplay a bunch of Naruto characters. And I know, Prince, I know you like it too because it was on your list. So I guess I'm just going to be talking to you about this one because apparently she's not really as into Naruto as I am, and apparently you are as well. So
I can name like 5 characters.
Okay, well, of the 5 characters, who is your favorite character from Naruto? Do you even have a favorite?
I like the Sand Gaara.
Yes, Gaara.
Yeah, I remember liking him.
Wait, so was he a bad guy when you were watching, or was he a good guy?
I think he was. All I remember was watching an episode where he's like in the training academy arena or whatever, and there's all this sand, and Naruto is like, "Oh man, what am I gonna do? This man uses sand, and we're in an arena full of sand." Like, what the? I don't even know how he resolved it. I just remember him really freaking out because like, damn, this guy's superpower is literally perfect for this exact situation that we're standing in right now. I was like, damn, how are you going to get out of this, Naruto? And I didn't commit it to memory.
No, you're not completely off because he was a little petrified there for a little bit when it came to Gaara and his ability, especially after seeing what he did to Rock Lee.
Oh, yeah. I guess I do remember him doing something to the guy, Rock Lee. Yeah.
Real quick, Ghost says Solo Leveling seems like a very standard action series with animation better than most, but again, haven't watched it all, so feel free to educate me. Because he's personally saying he prefers Free Rem, but he said to be fair, he hasn't really watched Solo Leveling like that.
Okay, cool. So at least he can admit.
Nah, at least he can definitely admit. So she says she likes Gara. Prince, to that you say what?
Gara's cool. Gara. I mean, I think it's kind of like she hasn't watched the whole show, so she doesn't know how Gara develops. But I guess it's like a little questionable why you like this Gara, and I wonder how you're gonna like him if you see him as he
his character development is there.
Yeah,
I think I just thought his power was cool, and I just
okay. Yeah.
Because I remember watching that episode, and I was probably like 11 or 12 or something.
Yeah.
So I didn't care as long as he had cool power. I was like, whatever. I don't care if he's evil.
But Gar is one of the most likable characters in the show.
And to be fair, I mean, they tried to kill that man when he was a kid. I don't know if I'm just completely against how he ended up becoming evil in the first place. Like people he thought he could trust.
Right.
Like him and his father was definitely estranged. I know they finally ended up having their moment later on in the series when he was reanimated.
I don't know, like that's so traumatizing. Like your dad is trying to kill you. Like your dad is sending people out to kill you.
And there's nobody in the village at all that's like got your back on this.
Right.
You know, even
literally except the sand. Except the sand.
It's like literally, like I know he ended up on a team, but it's like they weren't there for him when they were trying to kill him. At least Naruto, the village wanted him dead too because of obviously Kurama inside of him. But he had a support system, and he even said that once upon a time. He was like, "I could have ended up evil too. I could have ended up like Gara if it wasn't for the people that I had in my corner. If it wasn't for Aruka Sensei. If it wasn't." For Kakashi and what he ended up having, his structure. If it wasn't for that, and they need to be happy because evil Naruto, they don't want those problems.
I ain't even gonna lie to you. I'm not even like Kakashi cool, but I'm really not a big fan of like Kakashi. Like I don't get I really don't get the Kakashi train. I really don't. I'm not saying he's a bad character. Like he cool, but it's just like why do y'all like? I don't understand why people like him so much. Like. I really don't.
And Ghost, to answer your question, yes, he was the one that tried to kill Gara, but he was sent to kill him. So it was still the whole family that wanted him dead. And that was when he found out that he tried to kill him. At first, he was like, "Oh, well, they must have made you try to do it." And he's like, "Nah, I did it on my own." And it's like, "Oh man."
Yeah, I don't even remember his family trying to kill him or anything. I just remember he was real mad for some reason. I guess that was his reason.
Well, with every character in animes, when they go into that backstory, that's when you really gotta sit back and see what they got talking about. So, because Ghost is reacting to what you just said about Kakashi. So, we're gonna circle back to Kakashi here in a second, but I want to go ahead and ask you this: in Naruto, which character do you feel deserved more shine that maybe didn't get as much shine as they should have?
He got shine, but he plateaued. He did not need to plateau, and I think that's Rock Lee.
I knew you were actually going to say Rock Lee, so that's crazy that you said that.
Yeah, he wasn't supposed to plateau. He was not. I feel like he could have definitely got a lot more shine. But he did get some. But do you mean like a character that didn't like get any at all? Really, like kind of.
I mean, just any. If you feel like Rock Lee, because Rock Lee's actually not a bad answer, because especially when they got to Naruto Shippuden, it's like he grew up with everyone else, but they didn't really give him much.
Right, and my thing is like he was stronger than Sasuke at one point. And it's like, what, did we just like cap him off?
Well,
and then Sasuke just like, I don't
Well, Rock Lee's whole thing, I mean, when we first met Rock Lee, we knew what his mission statement was. We knew what his purpose was. It was to defeat Neji. He wanted to prove that he was better than Neji.
Yeah.
Because nobody in the village could beat Neji, and that was his thing. I want to beat Neji. And then after what Neji did to Hinata, he really wanted to beat Neji, but he no longer had the opportunity to because of what Gaara did to his leg. So now he's dealing with the fact that he might not even be able to fight again, but he still was hoping to one day get better so he could beat Neji. But then it didn't matter because Naruto ended up beating Neji. So it was like, well, there went what I've been trying to do. So what now? Like, he didn't really have a purpose anymore other than I'm here to protect my friends. You know, Rock Lee wasn't even in the village when Pain attacked.
Okay, but we know why. We know why.
We know why, but well, I always say the reason we know why is because he'd have whooped Pain's ass if he was there. But you know, they have to make. I always say they have to make sure him and Neji were not in that village when he attacked because it would not have been fair if they were.
I say it's because of Mike Guy. Mike Guy couldn't be there because if Mike
he
Guy
couldn't have been there either.
Because like I say this, Mike Guy, you never actually like see him get like beat up until like his fight with like Madara. Like he never actually we see Kakashi get beat up in his ninja battles. You never really see Mike Guy like actually like get like you know what I mean, like beat up.
Look, you literally had Kisame obsessing over this guy. After they first encounter, he met him later. He's like, "You remember me?" He's like, "Not really."
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean you don't remember me? I don't remember you, bro.
Yeah, and that's my thing. If Mike Guy was in the village when Pain was there, I think 8 Gates would have came out then.
He might not have needed to open them all, but
probably
you
not.
know. But that's what we always talk about when we talk about story and plot and things you have to do to make them make sense.
Yeah.
We know that Naruto had to come back to save the village, which was a big turn for him because Naruto being the savior of the village that day, that was the first time that the village truly accepted Naruto, you know, as one of them, as their savior, as their hero. So that made Naruto have that big leap where people finally even started taking him seriously as maybe a future Hokage one day. But like you said, let's get it crazy. They had to make sure that Mike Guy, Rock Lee, and Neji were not in that village when Pain attacked.
Yeah.
Because if they were there, they might not have needed Naruto.
Yeah.
So no, I'm actually with you when it comes to characters who deserve more shine. A big one is Rock Lee because again, he wasn't there when the biggest thing happened, and there wasn't much he did. Like he had a couple of small moments in the war, but also not really.
Mm-hmm.
You know, his moments was really just fighting alongside everybody else. They did kind of plateau him. He even talked about, and I think by the time Shippuden went around, I think he could only open to about the 6th gate, I believe.
Yeah, it was the 6th. Yeah.
You know, which of course Mike Guy was able to open them all, and he opened them all and was in Madara's ass, and all the way to the end where Madara had to respect that man.
Yeah.
And and then Naruto just showed up and healed him, just all brand new. There you go. That always kind of bothered us. Like we thought that we were getting a Mike Guy death scene because he opened all the gates. Just Naruto just jumped down and saved him. No big deal.
Yeah. And I'm so glad he did that.
But still, it's like we hyped all this up that he was gonna sacrifice his life for this. And then Naruto just shows up with a new power and is like, "Oh, by the way, I'm a better healer than Sakura now."
Thanks. And one thing I've always said about like the whole war arc in Naruto, I feel like if three people were revived, I feel like the whole war arc could have like been prevented or kind of not got to where
of course the war was still gonna happen because they thought Obito was Madara, and Madara was such a feared person. Him declaring war, you had to take that seriously.
Yeah.
But as far as like people on the battlefield,
like I feel I don't understand why they could have revived Rin. They could have revived her.
Well, they didn't want to do reanimations, and apparently Kabuto, I guess, didn't have the stuff to reanimate a Rin, or else he would have done it.
You think that's what it was?
Remember, you just can't reanimate anyone all willy-nilly. You had to be able to have like their, I think it was either like their body, or you had to have something from them. That was the reason they weren't able to reanimate Jiraiya, because there was no body. He washed away.
Did he say that?
Yeah, he actually brought up like that was why they could not reanimate Jiraiya, because they did not have his body.
Okay. Yeah, because I wondered about that one too. Yeah.
Also, Rin was still a kid when she died, so maybe he didn't feel like that was worth a reanimation.
Yeah.
Plus, you also got to understand this: if you reanimate Rin, the only person that's gonna really truly affect is Obito, and you didn't need that man. That man obsessed over that woman.
He would have got his closure though.
I mean, he technically got his closure when he died.
He didn't really talk to her. I mean, well, I'm talking about like before, before the whole war started.
I'm just saying he got it in the afterlife. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Speaking of afterlife, ladies and gentlemen, Jasiri! Look at him on local IRL again, I see.
You feel me? Gotta be on the move. Come on, I gotta get 1,000. You gotta say what up, chat.
But now, like I was saying, he technically got his closure with her when he died, because all three of them were going to be dead, and he personally made sure that Kakashi wasn't going to die, because he was like, nah, Kakashi, you can't die yet. I've been waiting forever to have Rin to myself. You can't come up here with us. You going back. Like, look, she's mine now. Yeah, so that goes hits the applause in here. So yeah, so what's going on, King of New York? What's good?
Man, keep it a stack with you. I'm trying to get my camera the right way because I'm flipping all over the place.
It just was. So what did you do?
You see what had happened was, it's not my fault, and I'm gonna stick by it. Like what Kiki said, I'm gonna stick beside it.
There it
long
is.
day at work, so I'm just here like happy to be off and be here for the podcast. You know what I mean?
Yes, better late than never. You here? Like I said, like he's so much of the King of New York, he is out in his city right now.
You feel me? Straight up outside. Like, come on, we doing this IRL.
Like I said, he's been the IRL portion of our podcast here lately. As long as nobody tries to walk past or anything like that, we're always good.
Okay.
Try not to pass by any crimes. We don't need to be, we don't need that. We don't need those problems.
With the Aggie.
Shout out to Aggie. But you know what? You're just in time, so we can go ahead and ask you, what Naruto character do you feel like deserved more shine?
More shine?
Yes.
Come on, chat. You know who I'm about to say. Lord. Neji should have been the son's prodigy. Neji should have really had the fair ones. Neji really did not deserve to go out with a stick, bro. I do not appreciate it. I don't, because he was so talented. He was the head of the clan. Like, listen, I don't care what they say. I don't care what they say. I don't care what they say about anything. Neji should have been the one. He should have been the chosen one. Or at least, like, runner up behind Lee, because Lee got the hands. But Neji just got done filthy so many times. Now that I'm looking back at it, it was just unfair.
Actually, to be fair, Prince actually said Rock Lee felt like he deserved more shine, because after the OG Naruto, when we got to Shippuden, Rock Lee didn't really do anything.
Yeah.
And to your point, like we said about Rock Lee, not only could they have used more shine, neither of them were in the village when Pain attacked. We said it.
They
Had
run the Blackout.
Rock Lee and Neji been in the village when Pain attacked, Naruto would not have even needed to show up.
That's a fact. But you know what it was? Plot.
Yeah, they had to have them out of the village. They couldn't have them there.
What? The hands would have been handled. Like, talking about what? Yeah, I could see everything pinpoint. Rock Lee would have been running up and down the whole village by himself.
The only problem with that, though, because there's always a problem. The only problem with that is because this was still Nagato, he still would have blown up the village, you know, when they realized Naruto wasn't there, which means the Kakashis and them of the world still would have died. They would have still been able to handle Pain, but then they probably would have found his location and just flat out killed him. And had they done that, he would not have been able to do his rebirth and brought everybody back to life. Only Naruto is going to be capable of doing that.
You're right.
That's probably a good thing. Yeah.
Total Jutsu did a little something. I ain't gonna front. It did a thing. You're right. It did its thing. Yeah. I'm just saying that they could have stayed bodied, though. I'm not gonna lie to you. My sons could yet shine, but you know what? I guess that's just the Bronx in me talking.
He feels very strongly. He's a Neji guy. He is a very strong.
I mean, come on. Like, what we like? First off, so are you okay with how he treated Hinata when they were younger?
Keep it a beam with you. If I was getting beat up for somebody else that wasn't doing what they needed to do to stand up for themselves, was he really that bad?
He almost killed that girl.
I mean,
did she die though?
I mean, no. He tried to kill her.
But did she die though?
He tried.
Like, she got tougher. She got tougher.
He tried to kill his flesh and blood at a tuning exam.
Now, what did he really try to kill her? Was he beating the sense into her?
He got the sense beaten him by Naruto. So
mean uppercut.
Later on.
And yes, he did try to kill her because he was finna do that gentle fist palm.
She was already in critical condition before he was about to finish her off.
They pulled her sleeve back. She had all her chakra, like you saw all her points like bruised up.
She didn't die though. I mean, she just got like some, you know what I mean? Like, it was tough love. You feel me? So what if they almost look how many times Naruto almost died? Look at him now. Such a great guy.
Naruto can't die though, because he had the Nine Tails in him. He's gonna regenerate.
Nah, as soon as Kurama started feeling some of that chakra fading, he's like, nah, I'm taking over.
Yeah.
That's a fact. He took over a couple times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You feel me? Too bad Hinata didn't have one, but you know, hey, not everybody could be as gifted as the main character.
I mean, they're the main characters for a reason. There's a reason the show is called Naruto and not Hinata.
You feel me? Like, come on, look who she married at the end.
Hey, look, she had a goal. She knew who she liked. To be fair, he was the only one that was taken up for her when she was little. So, of course, she was going to fall for him. And she liked his never give up mentality. She incorporated it herself. You know, she was always there for him. She jumped in for what it's worth in the Pain fight. You know, her getting clapped right in front of him did cause him to go berserk. And without that, he probably would have been done. So, you know, she played her part. Yeah. And her jumping in front of Naruto got Neji killed.
You know what? Maybe she did deserve it. I mean, not what? Yeah. What was the next? What happened? What's the next question?
Ain't no way.
Ghost actually got my answer because Ghost said in the chat, I got one that don't even like 10-10. There's absolutely no reason to have a weapon specialist introduce 6 past weapons and then never have the two interact in hundreds of chapters or episodes. You have when we talk about getting time, you have a person who can conjure up literally any weapon that they have in their possession at any time. They talk all the time about these legendary weapons. And as you see, post-war, in 10-10 Shop, she is in possession of a few of them. So it's like, do something other than get packed up by Tamari.
Boy.
I mean, Tamari was cold though. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Tamari cleaned her, boy. Ooh.
They was on another level. I'm just saying, there was probably like 3 in the hidden leaf that could hang.
She couldn't handle Shikamaru.
Maybe.
Tamari.
I mean, she handled him later.
Well, I mean, that's a different type of handle.
Tamari, one of my favorite girl ninjas. So, yeah.
W take.
Nah, she could. Not only was she talented, she was also smart too. She just not smarter than Shikamaru. Shikamaru had that battle of wits.
Yeah.
But really, who is? So, Shikamaru is my favorite. Not only is he my favorite Naruto character, he's my favorite anime character.
Okay.
I stand by Shikamaru all day, every day. But no, I do stand by Tenten needing to do more because other than getting packed up by Tamari, she didn't really do anything. At least we saw moments where Ino was able to help her teammates out. But I can't even say Tenten did that much.
Yeah, no.
And of course, I would ask Queen, but she doesn't watch Naruto. So
Yeah.
she likes Evil Gaara.
Evil Gaara. I mean, yeah, I guess. Sure. I like Stan.
I give claps up. You know what I mean? He was bodying people out in the streets. I ain't going front.
He was. And boy, when he saw his own blood for the first time.
Oh, berserk. Right. We love that moment.
We definitely love that moment. So now I get to put y'all on the spot. Prince, I'm going to start with you. Staying with Naruto, most overrated character.
Kakashi.
Somehow I felt like I was going to say that.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay, it's going to be a tie for me. Kakashi Sasuke. All right, we can start with Sasuke. I'll get this out. I'll get this out the way now. Everything he has is borrowed power. If you want to start from the beginning when he copied Rock Lee's taijutsu, if you want to go to when he took Orochimaru's powers, curse mark 1, curse mark stage 2. If you want to go to, I'm gonna give him the Chidori because Kakashi taught him that. If you want to go to when he got Itachi Sharingan. All his milestones have been from other people's powers. He just acquired other people's powers. He is the weakest Uchiha. I really don't get it. And then the people who try to say Naruto is Sasuke is stronger than Naruto. Sasuke is actively trying to kill Naruto. Naruto does not want to kill him.
I say that every time.
Yes, do you realize the person, if the person you're trying to kill, you're not capable of killing them, and they're not trying to kill you, it's like, okay, they clearly have some power over you. You're really not controlling this match. You know what I mean?
Because they always talk about how, a couple of their battles ended in a tie, but I'm like, they did not end in a tie. Sasuke's objective was to kill Naruto. Naruto's objective was to stop Sasuke. He's not going all out because he's not trying to kill the guy.
Right.
Sasuke's going all out. So when the battle ends and they're both laying on the ground, you did not successfully kill Naruto, but he successfully stopped you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, of course, Sasuke himself eventually was just like, yeah, I can't beat you.
Yeah.
I will give Sasuke the first fight they had when he was trying to leave the village.
Yeah.
Because he did beat Naruto. He had Naruto dead to rights, and then he decided last second, I don't want to kill you. I'm not going to take after my brother. I'm going to find my own path to strength. He could have finished Naruto off right there. He decided not to.
I think that's all for the storyline plot thing. Because I was even saying then Naruto really shouldn't have lost that fight.
The second that man would have started a Chidori to try to pierce it through that man's heart, Kurama would have came out.
He did do it though.
I'm talking about afterwards.
Yeah. Okay.
After he was passed out and he decided, nah.
But I feel like they were limiting the Nine Tails power that they wanted to show us at that point in the storyline.
He still wasn't fully leaking out yet, and Naruto didn't have control over it yet.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
You saw what happened when he finally got control over it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
People forget in that final battle, Naruto was running them hands on Sasuke for a while.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. And then I guess I said Kakashi.
Mm-hmm.
My reason for Kakashi is he never gets hyped up so much, but he's always losing fights. Like he not really he hasn't really defeated anyone like significant in my opinion. And I don't know. He just not. He just not. I don't know. He just not that. He's overrated. I'm just saying.
He's not
just
him.
overrated. Yeah.
And to Siri, to that you say what?
Man, you gotta be doing something right if all the other villages are glazing you for all their accomplishments.
Yeah. You're
I'm just saying.
copying ninjas. Yeah.
Listen, they should listen. I ain't gonna hold you. Kakashi LeBron of Naruto. I'm not gonna lie to you. You can say anything that you want against this man. That man has pulled 35 assists,
Whoa.
62 points. Like he does not
Whoa.
miss. He does not miss.
Whoa.
While watching all the greats and taking their moves.
You gonna jump in this? Because I know you don't agree with that. There's no way on earth you agree with that. Whoa, he said LeBron.
Look, the only
He
thing I was
is
going to touch on
and
was
it
what
became
you were
Hokage on
saying,
top of it.
is what you were saying about Sasuke real quick when you said he had borrowed power, and then you turned around and said Kakashi, because he also has a Sharingan, also stole everybody's moves. But that's the Uchiha's whole thing. They have Sharingans. Their whole thing is they take your moves. So if we're gonna say that Kakashi and Sasuke is overrated, now we're gonna have to say Itachi's overrated. We're gonna have to say Obito's overrated.
No. Look, Sasuke literally does not have his own eyeballs. The eyeballs Sasuke was born with, they're not in his skull. You know what I mean?
He was going blind.
Like they literally took him out. His eyes are too. He can never get Mangekyo Sharingan because he can't kill Naruto. So of course he got to get somebody's eyes who was capable of killing their best friend. He's the weakest Uchiha.
He killed his brother.
He didn't kill him. He was sick. Itachi would have won that. Let's stop playing. Let's stop playing.
A win is a win.
Let's stop playing. Let's stop playing right now.
A win is a win.
Look. If I fight you and you're, handicapped or ill, that's not my problem.
I'm not.
That's not my problem.
All I'm saying is
I'm saying is we talked about earlier. Congratulations to Oklahoma City. We know Halliburton went out with an Achilles in the first 7 minutes, and guess what OKC said? That's not our problem.
Damn.
I'm just talking about because you said copying the ninjutsu.
Mm-hmm.
He did
brought it up.
Yeah. I'm talking about Kakashi because you said Sasuke too. Sasuke, but Sasuke, those weren't his eyes. And then Orochimaru's powers he didn't necessarily copy. He absorbed Orochimaru. And or he could use the curse mark part too when he got bit with the curse mark.
Well, yeah, he did have the curse mark abilities. He didn't ask for them, but he got them.
He embraced them.
Because Orochimaru definitely did what he did. I'm not going to let your series say it because it gets kicked off of YouTube. But Orochimaru gave Sasuke powers. And, once you got him, look, Naruto didn't ask to have a fox put in him, but he started using the abilities. You use what you have.
Okay.
That's true. You didn't ask for it.
Okay.
Now, look, Sasuke's not my favorite character. I was just playing devil's advocate off of what you said. If you want to say he's the most overrated, along with Kakashi, I just know how much the King of New York over here likes Kakashi. So I'm actually going to go ahead and throw it to him. So you know what he feels. Who's your most overrated?
My most overrated. I'm not gonna front the the man that could never die. The whole friggin' series. The whole series.
Zetsu? He died?
Nah, nah. One of the three legendary Sani,
Oh, okay.
Orochimaru. I'm not gonna front. He got glazed everywhere, and I'm not even gonna front. I hate on him for free. I hate on him for free because you out here bite, and then on top of that, kid, and then on top of that, you literally like couldn't stay away from the kid. So before I get kicked off and finish those sentences, I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
y'all finished them for me. Yeah,
Yeah.
nah. He deserved to go down and burn it.
But I saw a video. The creator of Naruto, he actually said like Orochimaru is immortal.
Clearly,
Yeah.
shoot. I was just over here sick. I was like, yes, he's gone. 5 seconds later, he's
Yeah.
back.
Yeah. Literally a snake. Like you,
I don't
like
know. Chop his
literally.
head off and let's see what happens.
Shoot.
Man,
He gonna
go
come
back
out of
to
that
war.
head, like
And he might, but no one's attempted it yet. I'm just saying, like, sometimes you got to try something. When they talk about cutting off the head of a snake, cut off the head of that snake and let's see what happens. Either way, he should not be roaming around scot-free, not in prison.
Yeah. He literally saw the Reaper death seal and he's still walking around. Like like that's crazy.
Word.
He looked death.
Get rid
He
of my
looked
arms.
death
Get
in
him
his
back.
eyes.
This man is the man was responsible for the village being attacked one time.
I thought it was multiple.
I'm talking about the main one, killed the Hokage and everything, and he's walking free. Why? Because
Free with a kid at that.
Because he switched sides in the middle of a war.
Yeah, he. Y'all do agree that third Hokage was the weakest though of the Hokage. I don't know why that was funny. I kind of thought that was like a known thing.
If you want to talk about like him as a person, nobody likes him. But as far as power goes, I don't know if I'm saying he's the weakest.
What Hokage is he stronger than? I'll put it that way.
What Hokage? Now we talking about like just strength or just like abilities and things.
One-on-one match.
Because we've ranked. It's been a long time since we've done this. Actually, we've ranked Hokages on this podcast before, and I put Tsunade at the bottom.
Oh,
Tsunade physically?
No. Yeah, come on.
She's got physical strength.
No,
of course.
She knocked down a whole nation with one fist.
Are you forgetting? Like she can heal herself too, right? Like
she can heal herself. She does become practically immortal if she unlocks the 100 healing ability, and that's a pretty big last resort thing that you have to do when you go into battle. I'm just saying, as a Hokage, we were actually ranking the Hokages though as the job they did as Hokage, and I put Tsunade at the bottom just strictly for the fact that the village has been attacked several times doing other Hokage strength. Tsunade is the only one where the entire village has got completely destroyed.
Come on, that's not fair. That's not fair. That's not fair.
Hashirama would never.
First off, third Hokage, he went out on an L. He died and the village got attacked. That's the worst way to go out. He went out like a loser, literally. Like he went out like on an L. And then you're saying Tsunade.
I'll even help you for a second. Not only did he die, but his last thing he did before he died was to stop Orochimaru from being able to use jutsus. Only so down the line he can just start doing them again anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
So basically, he died for nothing.
I'm not even gonna
Literally.
lie. I'm not even gonna lie. I was laughing at those episodes when Orochimaru was screaming in pain, talking about his arms. I was like, "That's what you get." I was like, "That's what you get. Go away." Like, I was happy. I was happy he was in pain, but yeah. But no, Tsunade. So who? So you have first Hokage as the best because he established the village.
No, Naruto's the strongest person in the world. Naruto's going to be number one.
Okay.
He's actually a Hokage during the time of peace. Peace that he helped achieve in the first place, by the way.
But with Tobirama's mistake. Because Tobirama's
the racist.
Hey, look, Tobirama is the one that gets overshadowed a lot because a lot of people like to go straight to Tobirama because of his hate for the Uchihas, we'll say. I'll be nice. Because of his hatred for the Uchihas, and then they forget about the things that he's actually done for the village. All of the jutsu he's created, the system he's put in place, you know, the academies, all of that stuff. Like, all of that's because of Tobirama. But people just don't his hatred for Uchihas.
I heard people say like they believe the Uchiha is like the black people of the Leaf Village. What do y'all think about that?
Look, yeah, I can see it.
I don't know.
I can see it.
Only because, you know, there's always that controversial situation that everybody asks about. You know, should Hitachi have killed his clan or not? You know, some people say yes, some people say no. And if you go back and look at that backstory, they're not wrong that they were about to rise up and start a whole infighting war. Would it have been necessary? Who knows? Could there have been other things you did? Maybe, I don't know. Kill like 5 Uchiha and then let them know you ain't playing, and then maybe they'll back off. But I don't know. The hatred inside those Uchihas, they probably would have just wanted to come back even more because that was the whole thing about them. They were cursed with like this hatred, revenge gene inside of them.
Yeah.
It literally became Sasuke's whole thing for a whole series.
Yeah.
Starting to sound like a very oppressed people, like they were being bonded in some type of way and then forced to be the enforcers of the village. Now, the enforcers are what are going to do what? Enforce. So now they're trying to bring their people over to the promised land. And now they can't even do that. Why? Because they got a cone. They got the CIN, the Central Intelligence of Ninjas, going over it. And then, you know what? They got Itachi. Dang, the Ambu agent. Then after the Ambu agent, what happened? Boom, bow, bing, bing, bop, boom, boom, bop. He goes out and murks everybody except the little brother because he wants him to be better.
Not only did he not kill Sasuke, the man put him in a genjutsu and made him relive killing his family thousands of times.
But did he die though?
You traumatized this man to the point that he became the brooding, emo, depressed ass dude that he grew up to be, where the only thing he cared about was revenge, even after he found out why Itachi did what he did. It's like, oh, so Itachi was kind of forced into killing my family. Itachi still made you relive that thing thousands of times.
Oh, look how he excelled in school.
He ain't the greatest big brother in the world.
But did he die though?
No, he didn't
exactly.
die. Itachi was never going to let him die. In fact, Itachi was flat out ready to put another genjutsu on Sasuke so that he could actually protect the village.
Sasuke low-key got more plot armor than Naruto himself. I'm not even gonna lie to you. He low-key had more plot armor than Naruto himself.
This man literally...
He was supposed to die. He was supposed to die from Deidara. He was also supposed to die from, I know, Killer Bee. Who else? And then they let him go in that Kage summit like that.
I ain't gonna lie, he did pull up gangster on the ceiling.
And props for taking out Danzo. I props for taking down Danzo.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we can give him that. It had to be.
By the way,
somebody...
was the real Hokage while the third was in charge.
It had to be. It had to be somebody with the Sharingan to beat Danzo. It's
well, I mean,
well, implants. Implants.
The man has spent years collecting eyes. Like yes, it was gonna take an Uchiha to beat him.
I don't understand how he kept that a secret so long.
By not rolling up.
Gamble. He had the agents run up and take all the eyes from under the ground and then bring them over to the tubes. Then when they went to the tubes, what did they do? They incubated them. Then after that, what he did, he took the Uchiha's powers and installed it in himself to enhance himself, which is kind of crazy. But you know what? Justice was served.
Yeah. For sure.
Justice was definitely served. And as far as my answer on the most overrated character, I don't know if I necessarily have the most overrated character. I just know who the most useless is. And I've said this on this podcast so many times. We could do this entire story without Kiba and we would be just fine. I have no use for that man. I don't know what his purpose is. You know, he does one move and he doesn't even do that well.
I mean, what happened to the Fang over Fang? If it wasn't for Akamaru taking a pee-pee, he would have never found that other ninja. Mm-hmm.
Now y'all have to remember now. Kiba did say he wanted to become Hokage,
and it was never gonna happen.
When he said that, I was like, "You're on the wrong TV show." Like.
Not even that. There's nothing about him, like nothing about him and his personality that made you go, you know, that Kiba guy. I want to follow him in the battle.
Right.
You know, I think he's gonna be the strongest. We can put our lives in Kiba's hands. Like, what does that sound like?
Yeah, no.
Yo, Kiba was one of those people that was like, "Oh, he's doing great, and he's nobody. I can do it too." No, he worked hard. He actually worked.
Yeah.
What did you do?
And then it's like, oh, you know what? I wanted to, like the man literally at one point when he was stuck in the Infinite Tsukiyomi, the man was dreaming about being Hokage and was talking about basically making pets equals and everything he wanted to do with animals. It's like, this is this your idea of like running everything? He was never going to be that. He had one move again. He couldn't do it well. He eventually learned how to do one shadow clone. Okay, congratulations. You can do a shadow clone. You know, you thought you were going to beat Naruto easily. He beat you with a fart. Like I have no use for Kiba.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. I never really liked him.
Let's see. Ghost in the bottom said Danzo doesn't just run Anbu, he runs the route. Sai can't even talk about his opinion of Danzo. Well, for the longest time, Sai couldn't say anything bad about anybody. Like, he wasn't allowed. He wasn't allowed.
Yeah.
Like, look, becoming an Anbu comes with a lot of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
If we're being fair, Naruto started as a delinquent, held back trainee, wasting our tax dollars on cleanup and a living WMD. Not inspiring. Naruto,
I agree with that.
Was held back several times, but he also never gave up as he continued to keep trying. He could have easily just dropped out and said,
You can't put Naruto and not inspiring, like, in the same context. We can't do that. You can't do that.
You failed several times, and he still kept going and kept going and kept going.
Naruto is motivation. Like, Naruto is everything.
He was a delinquent because after the way the village treated him growing up, he wanted any kind of attention, even if it was bad attention. He just wanted somebody to notice him because he had no family, and the third did not set him up for success.
That is true.
Spending all his daddy's money because Lord knows it wasn't going to Naruto.
And I didn't like third Hokage because of that. Yeah. I also didn't like Kakashi because what he did with Naruto. He gonna send Naruto off with Ebisu Sensei while he up here teaching Sasuke Chidori. Like, why are you trying to set him? Like, why are you trying to set Naruto up for failure?
I mean, thank God he ran into Jiraiya.
Yeah, but it was like I was like, that's so lame.
Which Jiraiya was always kind of there to take over that Naruto training anyway, but it's like, but still, it was like Kakashi's whole thing is Iwasu Sensei. It's like, really him? Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's like Naruto. I still trying to figure out why he couldn't know that Minato was his dad.
Yeah.
Like, why does that have to be a secret?
And you would think the village would respect the Hokage's kid a little more.
No, they filmed
Man,
him
after
because
that
he had
fox
Kurama
done tore up my
inside of
city
him.
and my fucking... That fox done blew up my store, my house, my baby mother's crib, and his kid is still here? And that fox that destroyed everything is in that kid?
But why is the fox gone?
That is true, but my shop gone too.
And before the fox was inside of Naruto, who was he inside?
Yeah, somebody that could control him. So murk that kid with the fox.
Well, that's why they put the seal on him. So that's why Kurama was never able to escape while he was a baby.
Boy, I'm telling you, the Leaf Village is so lucky Naruto did not come out like Gaara.
All you had to do was tell that man when he was a kid, it's like, hey, your dad's not around because he sacrificed himself for you to be here. What's wrong with telling him and everybody else in the village that his father was the fourth Hokage?
Yeah.
Maybe he would have got.
I mean, half of the people did know.
Maybe because they knew he could control Kurama. Then maybe if it's like, all right, well, that's Minato's son. We know what him and his wife was able to do with Kurama. If he's inside him sealed off safe, then maybe we're good. All we got to do is make sure we groom him. Nah, we don't like him. In fact, some of the villagers, we even tried to kill him. They go into that more in the manga than the anime. But it's like, yeah, some of your favorite ninjas wanted to kill that boy.
I'm not going for it. They had every right to feel like that. I ain't going for it. I ain't gonna hold you, because out of the 12%, they would have been like, yeah, we love him, but the rest, nah. Majority, nah. They would have wanted him murked or exiled.
Well, they learned to
so
like
I understand why they kept him
eventually, even though they knew he was inside of him. So it worked out. But the man didn't have to go through that kind of childhood. That's just how about not even tell the villagers what he was? How about not even tell the villagers that he has the nine tails inside of him? Like, what about the ones that did know? I don't think the kids didn't know. The ones
that didn't know probably hated him more.
That's what I said. The kids had no idea.
Yeah. But the kids knew that their parents hated it. So what did they do in turn?
Yeah.
Also hate him.
But they didn't even know why they were hating him. They just knew they hated him because the parents hated him. That's what I'm saying. He was not set up for success. All I'm saying is the third did nothing to mitigate that at all. Just set him up in a little apartment with spoiled food and was like, you're on your own. But I do agree with Ghost when he said at least Naruto did have Ibusu and then eventually had Jiraiya when Kakashi ran off to be, to make Sasuke his special project. And then it's like, I'm going to leave him with you. He didn't even think about what he was going to do with Sakura. It's like, yeah, I'm going to run off and make Sasuke my special project. I'm going to give you Ibusu and Sakura. Yeah, you fend for yourself. All right, bye.
But what's it called? Sakura wasn't going to train no way because this was for Naruto and Sasuke because they advanced to the next round.
It didn't
so
matter.
I'm thinking. So Kakashi being both of their sensei, you don't prioritize one student over the other. I didn't think that
did with Sasuke. He took the man out of town and taught him a jutsu that he was really too young to learn, which is why he wasn't able to. He's supposed to not do it 3 times because his body can't handle it.
Right.
And the only reason he taught it to him in the first place was because the man had the curse mark and was craving more power. So he took him. Not to train, he just took it like, oh, you're craving more power. Well, let me take you off in the woods somewhere, and I will give you more power. And maybe this will make you shut up about more power. You're prioritizing him. Naruto's in this tournament too. You don't care how he's dealing. Sakura embarrassingly ended in a draw with Ino. So I mean, I guess she's over there somewhere. But even still, after all of that was over, he still ran off trying to keep Sasuke safe. Jiraiya is going on missions with Naruto to go find Tsunade and all this stuff. And Sakura's just got nobody.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be your student too. You really didn't set her up very well. Luckily, when Tsunade got there,
she was too sprung up on Sasuke anyway. As long as he was around, she ain't start getting stronger till he left.
Well, she started getting stronger when she started realizing how strong they get. Because I swear, we could play a drinking game to how many times Sakura said, "I'm gonna catch up to you guys one day." I think I finally caught up to you two. No, you got stronger. We'll admit that, but you didn't catch up to Naruto and Sasuke. Sorry. But it is funny. Back to what you were saying about Kakashi, because that actually rolls into what we're doing next. Because we are now at the part of the podcast as we're gonna rapid fire these last things. We didn't do it last week, but it is here, and it is a game we like to call One Has to Go. And he was outside, but this is One Has to Go characters. So not their shows, just them as characters. And I took people that get compared a lot, and that's what we're going to be using in these One Has to Goes. So for starters, and because you're the guest, Prince, we're always going to start with you, but I think I already know your answer on this one. One Has to Go, Kakashi or Saratu Gojo.
Let's get rid of the copycat. Let's get rid of the copycat ninja.
And by the way, hands in the air, Aggie's in the chat.
Oh.
Hello from the handler of Con Crunching. Like I said, once I found out his hatred for Kakashi, I knew that one was going to be easy for him. But it was still on the docket, so I still had to ask it. But Jasiri, what say you?
Oh. Man, Naruto came first. So Gojo could go.
All right, I needed you on the record. All right, so Gojo can go. All right. Queen, do you know enough about these characters to get rid of one of them?
Kakashi looks cooler. So
hey.
I'm gonna go with him.
We got two in the pocket.
The podcast is real.
That's why his eye thing is cooler. I know Gojo's eye is just like blue. It's like,
you can't see it in that picture. What you mean?
I've seen clips of like him showing off his eyes. I'm like, all right, I guess that's like Sharingan but blue. Okay.
Look, so basically for y'all are doing it as characters. For her, she's doing it like most women. Hey, who's the prettiest? These are husbands for a lot of women in the community.
Yeah.
I ain't mad at her.
I'm not even
Great
going
job.
for that. Just the one eye that Kakashi's showing is cool. Gojo, I mean that's cool too. I don't know, but the asymmetry Kakashi's got going on is cooler. So
the asymmetry Kakashi has is cooler. Hey, that's what's up. Is that a FedEx truck driving by you?
Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah.
That's crazy. I just happened to notice that out the back of your windshield. But I'm where you are when it comes to Kakashi, so Gojo can go for me as well. Just so we just go ahead and get that on the record because we're big Kakashi guys over here. All right, the next one has to go. Boy geniuses, Dexter or Jimmy Neutron.
You start with me?
Yes, you're the guest. It always starts with you.
Yeah, Dexter gotta go. Dexter gotta go, bro. Dexter gotta go. Jimmy, that boy. Like Jimmy, like that. Like Jimmy goes to outer space. You know what I mean? Jimmy can talk to aliens. Jimmy did everything. Dude. And he don't got to deal with. He don't got the annoying sister thing, and he got him a pet dog. He got a dog. Like, I like Jimmy. I'm more impressed with Jimmy's inventions too. Jimmy's inventions are better than Dexter's inventions, in my opinion.
We'll never know how good Dexters are. They keep getting destroyed. But anyway, to Siri.
Look, you already know my answer. We sticking with the original, the blueprint, Dexter. You feel me?
So Jimmy got to go for you.
Jimmy got to go.
Yeah. Queen, these are classic cartoons. I know you know
Yeah,
them.
no, I have watched. It's just anime that I'm not that familiar with. No, I'm familiar with both. I don't know. I watched too much Jimmy Neutron to not say him. I watched that first movie like too many times, and like I don't know. I don't like Dexter's attitude. Jimmy is at least like
likable.
He at least understands. Yeah, he's likable. He at least understands when he's like made a mistake or when he's being selfish. He like learns his lesson. But Dexter, he's too mean to his sister.
I don't know. I mean, his sister destroys everything. She breaks into his lab, just touches stuff. She can't keep her hands to herself. What are you gonna do?
She wouldn't have to do that if you would just let her see some of it. Just
Hey,
be like, don't touch anything. You can look
guess
up.
what?
She's not going to not touch anything.
Guess
what
what?
does this do? Like, you're not gonna just tell her what it does, and she's just gonna take your word for
it. Guess what? It took an arm and a leg to break into Jimmy's lab.
That
right? Right? It's easy to get into Dexter's lab.
Hey, look, we're not actually.
No, it's easy for Dee Dee to get into Dexter's lab. When Mandark and the rest of them was trying to get in, that was
a
troop
Dee
even
lives
for him.
there, so she knows the secrets.
Okay, fair enough.
She knows she can just hit the button in the bookshelf like that. Not everybody knows about that. You think everybody would know about that, but no. She knows about that. And by the way, I'm not gonna let you get away with that about Jimmy. We ain't gonna act like Jimmy's just always the nicest person in the world either. He's condescending at times, thinking that there's a scientific explanation for everything that goes on. He thinks he's the smartest person walking around too. I watched the Jimmy Timmy Power Hour. You could not convince this man that magic existed.
Yeah, but he started to come around a little bit, I think.
Not really.
Not really? Okay. I swear I remember him being
and Jimmy Timmy Power Hour, wasn't Timmy taking his girl?
No, they were fighting over her. I mean, yeah, you let this man take your bitch.
Yo!
In the chat, Go said, I think Gojo's great, but between the two of them, Gojo's got to go. And he said, I hate it, but Dexter. Man, so he's team Gojo, he's team Dexter. Nah, just look, I'm sorry. I know Jimmy's been to space. I get all of that. And look, I know Dexter's got a bad attitude, but I'm like Siri. I'm an OG guy. I know I'm not even doing this at shows because we're just doing these as characters themselves. Dexter just got like this swagger to him as well, too. Like, yeah, you're right. He does have an attitude. That's just because he's smart and he knows he's smart. And he knows what his abilities can do, and he knows what his robots can do. He knows what his inventions can do. Dee Dee is basically his only adversary, which is crazy.
Literally, it'd be your own family.
Send Dee Dee to visit Jimmy for a weekend and see what happens.
Yo.
She been and blew up the moon or something.
And reprogram the dog.
I'm
my
get
God.
an answer on this one to Siri, but we still got to ask him because there's more guests here. So one has to go Scaredy Dogs edition, Courage or Scooby Doo.
I'm going. Shoot, like I could go to classic route, throwback, original, but I reside more with Courage. I do. So I'm gonna let Scooby go.
Yeah, I gotta let Scooby go because Courage be getting abused, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because Courage, he doesn't have a healthy home life at all.
And Courage can pick up more objects than Scooby can. You know what I mean? He know a little English,
Yeah.
And he gonna make sure Muriel's straight. He gonna make sure his owner's straight.
He's a good guard dog. He just he's small. He can't do anything about
like
it.
all Scooby, like all I know about Scooby is I don't want to eat around that dog. He'd be done eat my food.
I think you'd
Oh,
be
we
more
having the
worried about.
munchies.
I think you'd be more worried about Shaggy stealing your food than Scooby, honestly.
Shoot, yeah. But yeah, I reside more with Courage. Like that's yeah, I'm a Courage guy. Scooby, I'm by Scooby, but respectfully by.
Oh
I
man.
think I already know your answer, but go ahead, Jasiri. The floor is yours.
Listen, we just going based off the characters and not the show. I might have to go with Courage because Courage is gonna be my ride or die. If I get packed up or if I get picked up to get packed up, I know Courage is right behind me with that. Gonna start busting out the chopper. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Courage. I'm gonna have to go with Courage. Scooby gonna be high on the couch. I can't do that.
Roger?
Oh my goodness. Look, oh man, I'm gonna have to try to get the queen back in here. For some reason, she fell out on the actual thing.
Okay.
See if we can
Oh
get her back in.
no!
But yeah, Courage at least tries to protect his owner on purpose. Scooby saves the day on accident.
Every time.
He'd be running and he slips on a banana peel and he's gonna smack into that wall, that's gonna swing that lamp, that's gonna hit that rope, that's gonna drop that safe down, that's gonna lift that rope, that's gonna tie up the monster.
Yeah.
And you're like, Scooby, you saved the day.
I did?
He's just like, huh? It's like, what?
Yo.
Oh man, why is she not getting pulled back into the chat? That is bothering me a little bit. Queen, can you back out of the thing and then come back in and we'll see if that adjusts itself? Okay, while we wait for her to come back in, we'll go ahead and move on to the next one. And then we'll get that because we got two more here.
Okay.
Okay, one has to go craze characters. Denzel Crocker from Fairly Odd Parents or Dr. Doofenshmirtz from Phineas and Ferb.
He had a first name? Crocker?
Yeah. No,
Denzel?
yeah, this one kind of easy for me. I'm a Doofenshmirtz got to get out of here. Just a little he has good inventions and stuff, but it's just a little too repetitive and it like this I don't know. It don't really get me. Like I think Mr. Crocker, his ideas kind of like his ideas made sense and like his plans were like good plans and he just crazy. But I kind of like his plan, how he was trying to like catch the fairies and all that, because he wasn't really crazy, because the stuff he was talking about was like it was real.
It was true. It made sense.
Oh, he turned insane. It's just that they should have listened to him in the first place.
Yeah, like the stuff he was talking about was happening. Yeah. So yeah, Doof out of here.
Okay. Queen, what about you?
It's hard for me to say because Doofenshmirtz, he's funnier in my opinion. Like he's got the jokes hit harder. Yeah. But I think that's just a consequence of Phineas and Ferb being like a better written show in that regard. But Crocker, like conceptually, is really funny to me. So I think I'm gonna get rid of Doofenshmirtz, to be honest, because Crocker, I don't know, the idea of like an insane man who everybody in the town thinks is schizophrenic because he's the only person who's noticing these actual magical beings, and it's like you can't blame him for going crazy because it's like, how do you explain that you saw a tiny floating person above like floating over a child's head granting wishes for them? Like that's impossible to explain. So that's just funny to me. But how? I didn't even think about this. How did he see the fairies? Because only children can see them, right?
He used to have a fairy, I think. I think something happened with his memory. He didn't completely forget. And then it was one episode.
It isn't necessarily that only kids can see them, only kids can have them.
I thought Timmy's parents couldn't see his, like, because there would be multiple times
because that's the reason that, like, you know, they will always turn into goldfish, because, you know, if that was the case, they wouldn't be able to see them when they turn into goldfish. They've never, and there was a time even in the later seasons, but still, it was still Fairly Odd Parents. I think Timmy's dad flat out saw one of the fairies and just thought it was some fangled something because he's stupid. No, they can see them, they just can't own them.
Okay. Yeah. Well, because what I always thought is that they couldn't see them in fairy form, but when they transformed into like a book, like I think Wanda would be his backpack and Cosmo would be his book or something like that. So I always thought his family just thought like they couldn't see their eyes or their mouth or them talking, but they saw a book or a backpack. So I always thought they just like transformed into things perfectly, and they just like no one else could see them talking. Or
no, even if they saw something talking, they noticed it. Like that one time, I forgot what the surprise was, but Cosmo and Wanda as goldfish gasped, and his dad was like, "Those gasping goldfish are right." It was like, you know,
yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Well,
what wasn't there an episode where Mr. Crocker actually had like made it to Fairy World?
Yes, it was like a whole thing.
Yeah, I know I watched that episode like a long time ago, but yeah, he actually went to Fairy World. I think like he knows what's going on. Like
but up until that point, there was always a lot of plausible deniability in what he was seeing as well, because it was like he was kind of seeing things. Plus, he always knew he had his magic detectors and all of that, but without being able to have an actual picture of one, it was always, I can't quite prove this, or else he wouldn't have been able to. And then there was a time where Cosmo and Wanda flat out, you know, turned themselves into adults and was Timmy's parents for that conference, and Crocker was doing everything he could that episode to prove that was not Timmy's parents. He just knew they were. The man tried to electrocute him.
That man's been gaslighting the universe his entire adult life.
But yes, so Jasiri, both of them are getting rid of my Nema Nema. Ooh, my Nema Nema Nema. What do you say?
Oh man, it's just like they're both really good. They're both really intricate in both of their stories, and it's just like it's one of those times where I just feel like I want to default because it makes sense. It's hilarious. He keeps on getting stopped for the same thing, but Doofenshmirtz? Yo. Gee Wilkers. You're gonna have to start the timer for me with this one.
That man's been trying to take over the tri-state area every day for a whole summer.
Facts. And I be laughing every time.
And kudos to him to be able to build a new invention every single day.
You feel me? Every day of the summer. Like, come on. It's even in the theme song. But I ain't going front. The laughing go ahead.
I was gonna say I like how realistic his span of like evil intention is. Just the tri-state area. Anything above that, he's like, I'm good.
No, you gotta start somewhere. Like, you starting small. Most people want to go straight to taking over the world. Like, can you just take over your little area first?
Word. Not even interested in anything else. He's like, what's that, New Jersey? All right. Connecticut?
You gotta start
Connecticut. What am I gonna do in Connecticut? Oh man. As much as I want to default to Fairy Odd Parents, I think I'm gonna go with Phineas and Ferb. I think I'm gonna go with Phineas and Ferb. It's just too hilarious.
So you said Crocker has to go.
Yeah, you gotta go.
Nice. Oh man, and both of them just had their thing because he just always knew it would be. Crocker would see a lot of weird stuff around him and think nothing of it. He was like, "Oh, floating thing, this down here, oh, nothing out of the ordinary. What's this?" Like this can only mean one thing. Timmy Turner is using some kind of device with the help of his fingerprints. Like they had him through that. You talk about trauma. Like he is traumatized.
Did they? I know that
it's all Cosmo's fault.
Did they ever show Doofenshmirtz parents? Because I know they showed Mr. Crocker's.
Oh yeah, his mom. Yeah, we know Denzel's mom. He was been shown quite a few times because he's a mama's boy. No,
what about Doofenshmirtz though?
That I don't remember off the top of my head if they showed his. They show obviously they showed his daughter.
Yeah, Vanessa.
Because we all know about Vanessa, Busted. You are busted. And we know how integral she is, but I don't know about the dad. Also, his inventions were so good that OWCA has a secret storage of them that they use. Yes, like I said, I mean, look, it ain't his fault that a bunch of animals with hats want to always foil his plans. Oh, his dad was the one that made him the lawn gnome. Yes, that's right. From his past when they went into Doofenshmirtz's backstory. All right, yeah, I appreciate that.
Okay,
they did.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I remember that. Okay.
Yeah, and I should have known about that. But yeah, now that he said that, but back to this, as hard as this even was for me when I was putting it up here, and I said, you know what, eventually I'm going to have to make a decision on this myself. Because I don't always just put these together to make everybody else suffer. But, Siri, I'm going to have to ride with you. I think Crocker's going to have to go. And that is not easy. All right, main event. This is the final one of the night and the final thing of the night. One has to go characters, duos, SpongeBob and Patrick, or Gumball and Darwin.
Easy. Darwin and Gumball gotta go. Too much longevity. Too much longevity with SpongeBob and Patrick.
Well, I'll give you about 4 years.
I mean, I have more memories with SpongeBob, so that's gonna be mine. Yeah, I mean, I could go on about SpongeBob, but I guess like what you said, you said your sister said like SpongeBob carried.
No, I said I call her our little sis, but it's Summer Drew. She's like our little sis.
Yeah, well, yeah. How SpongeBob carried.
It would be insulting to even give her this question.
Yeah, like SpongeBob. Yeah, duos, SpongeBob Patrick. SpongeBob Patrick, for sure.
Okay, so he's saying Gumball and Darwin has to go. Queen?
I really thought you were gonna say Mordecai and Rigby or something for in place of Gumball and Darwin. Because you said them, I would have actually gone with Mordecai and Rigby. But Gumball and Darwin, yeah, they could go. I mean, I really liked that show as a kid, and I grew up watching it. I thought their dynamic was cute and everything, but I don't know. SpongeBob and Patrick, they nearly died together. I don't think there's a single atrocity that they haven't been through together. And
how many songs they got together?
Yeah, they can make a whole studio album with all the songs they got. They just bros for life.
Ghost said, I personally think Nicole and Richard could carry the show without Gumball and I don't know about that, but anyway.
I could see that. I could see that. Gumball is a little asshole, which kind of cracks me up, but I could definitely see that.
That they could do the show without him?
I mean, yeah. I mean, no, not as it is, but I see what they mean. Nicole and Richard are really top 5 characters above Gumball and Darwin, I think. So
Okay. I can definitely respect that. Kasiri, you
just
going
because
for the
it
3
pulls
for
a
3?
cash out, I just think that's funny.
Yo, as many moments as Gumball and the amazing world of Gumball has, and Darwin being confirmed to be one of us, sh- I'm gonna have to go with some of Drew. It's SpongeBob and Patrick. It's just too many specialty moments. It's too many specialty moments. Not saying that. No, yeah, there's too many specialty moments with them too. Let's take the island and move
Somewhere else.
it.
No, I get it. That wasn't a
Yo.
duo moment, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
You should take Bikini Bottom and push it somewhere else. I will
Yo.
say this, full disclosure, I really did this for my nephew who ended up not joining us tonight because I know he would have smacked me for this topic. Because I know how big he is on Gumball and Darwin as characters themselves. So when I put this up on the archives, I'm really gonna make sure I tag him and that he has to get every last ounce of all of this. To be honest with you, for me, it's not as easy as you would think because obviously as shows, you know, SpongeBob, we talked about it earlier, the most quoted cartoon of this generation. I'm not gonna say of all time because I grew up in a generation where everybody could quote Looney Tunes all day, every day, but at least of a generation. SpongeBob is the most quoted cartoon. Wow, say his name and he appears. He must be Joe Hendry. My nephew's in the chat.
Crying.
Yo.
Yo, what up, folks?
The only time I said his name on podcast, and there he is. You know what that means. He's probably been watching the whole time.
Crying.
All right, well then you can say it in the chat then, sir.
You know, an easy way to, debate this or to come to your answer. All you got to do is say, if you open your door and these two characters, each pair were trying to sell you chocolate, whose chocolate are you buying?
SpongeBob and Patrick have experience.
They also were not the best at it.
They were just getting chased by. They was getting scammed. Like, come on.
Even before then.
They come across a dude.
They made their money. They had made their money at the end of the episode.
Hello? I love you.
That shows empathy.
A little too strong, Patrick.
They had made their money by the end of the episode.
All for one person.
But yeah.
Oh, let's get naked. Nah, let's save that for when we're doing real estate.
Gumball and Darwin would have killed somebody though. They would have somebody wouldn't be coming out of that unharmed.
Straight shiesties.
So.
Oh man, so that's what I said. No, we know the chocolate episode, but the reason I'm saying is because obviously it shows SpongeBob, but when I think of when I'm sitting back and I'm just laughing at people, man, Gumball and Darwin are two of my favorite characters in modern cartoon television, man, because I'm waiting for the reboot because you know the is coming back for Hulu.
Oh really?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean everything else is coming back. Phineas and Ferb just came back.
Yeah,
and now
I watched that. Yeah, I watched the new season of that. Yeah.
And now Gumball. So yeah, if it's nobody wants to come up with anything new anymore.
Yeah. Can I ask y'all a question?
Go ahead.
So I had got into a recent debate. What cartoon show has better songs, Phineas and Ferb or SpongeBob?
Phineas and Ferb.
It's really
Phineas and Ferb.
Phineas and Ferb is not even close.
I don't think so.
What songs after season 4 SpongeBob got?
But I feel like Phineas and Ferb, they got too many. They do too many songs, so it don't hit as much.
Do you know all the bangers that Phineas and Ferb has?
they all not like. Camille, what you think? Because
I think
I
Phineas and Ferb, because they're actually songs. Like a lot of SpongeBob songs are kind of just jingles. Well, I shouldn't say jingles, but like, yeah, kind of jingles. I mean,
I think that's the complete opposite. I feel like Phineas and Ferb.
I mean, what are the SpongeBob songs?
They're like,
okay. Oh, you want me to say them? Okay,
hey, that's what we do on this podcast.
Okay, you could do first off, you could do, the fun
fun song.
You could do Best Day Ever. You could do Rip This Pants. You could do what's that one?
I actually wasn't that big of a fan of Best Day Ever, to be honest with you.
God dang, it's like it's a few more. You could do the you could do the one where he performed at the little bubble dome thing.
Oh yeah,
Sweet Victory. I can give you fun. I can give you Sweet Victory. Like I said, Best Day Ever. I know other people like it. It wasn't my favorite. The Rip His Pants wasn't really my favorite either. Like the episode was cool, but the actual song, I was like, it's all right.
What's another one? He had a Krabby Patty song, I believe. I just don't know what it. He had something. It's a few more he had, but I don't know. I guess because I watched the new episode of Phineas. I mean, the new season of Phineas and Ferb. I literally finished it last week, and they had like a musical every episode, and I was just like, yeah. No.
Well, Phineas and Ferb had music every episode.
Was it? Yeah. Are you sure? Because I don't recall it. Every episode they had like a musical. Every episode.
I'm pretty
sure you want to take this before I go?
No, you got it.
They had one. So you tell me they had one every single episode.
Okay, because I hear him because it seems like he's struggling a little bit when it comes to Phineas and Ferb. So we literally just talked about one earlier. Busted. You are busted. We can go straight to busted all day. The little song called Bow Chicka Bow Wow. That's what my baby said.
That's a jingle, by the way.
My Nema Nema, ooh, my Nema Nema Nema, my nemesis. We can go to my nemesis.
That's also a jingle.
We can. There's still songs though. Do I need to start pulling out the love handle songs, because every song that was in that episode was slapping, all the way down to I ain't got rhythm to suck your way right into my heart.
Hold up, you forgot you got Pearl Sweet 16 on SpongeBob. That was a banger. Pearl Sweet 16. No, we're not gonna do that.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember that one.
The Perry the Platypus song.
I think it's a bit hard to compare because Phineas and Ferb had a song every episode, so there's more songs to compare.
I'm not even going. And I'm just going to the top.
And they be missing, and some of them miss. Some of them miss.
I didn't even bring up SIMP squirrels in my pants.
My favorite Phineas and Ferb song, I'll give them some credit. Like my favorite was the Aglet song.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and all the songs he picked the Aglet song. I like it.
It was cool. It was cool.
No, I like it. It's none of my top 10 Phineas and Ferb songs though.
When you put out music so much though, it's like it ain't gonna hit as hard.
Yeah, that's true.
You remember the ones you're gonna remember though. Like half the songs I just mentioned are on my playlist when I DoorDash. I have a Phineas and Ferb. I don't have a SpongeBob playlist. I have a Phineas and Ferb one.
Because Phineas and Ferb, like you said, they got so many episodes. You can have a full playlist.
Ladies and gentlemen, hey, better late than never. The co-host of the podcast is real, my nephew, Vocal!
I don't know if y'all can hear me. Can you hear me?
We can hear you just fine.
Okay, cool.
Well, it's echoing, but we can hear you good enough.
Okay, we're going to have to fix that then. We don't do that. Going to do the best if I can here. Best I can do with the mic right now. Not gonna lie to you. Hold on. Let me look at my life decisions again. Yep, that's all my choices. Absolutely. Hi, my fellow Americans. How are we on this beautiful, fine, Friday night? I was summoned very, 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 very last second because I literally just got done finishing everything I needed to do because I currently just moved and I'm literally getting everything situated, set up my background. I don't know if you can see my dog. Hey, Dollar, say hi. Say hi, Dollar.
Yeah, he was almost the second week in a row he wasn't able to join us, but hey, he's here, so it counts.
I did the best. I literally do the best I can for you right now. But now it's not about me right now. It's not about me. It's about the two lovely people that literally took the time out of their days and they worked their hard-earned money of putting blood, sweat, tears of animations and everything, bro. Like it ain't about me. It's about the guests. You feel me?
And we glazed them for over 2 hours. Books and everything.
Good. I'm glad. Don't look at me because I'm not the glazer. I'm the person who want people to burn their seat. So I apologize you didn't get the seat burning, but apparently I didn't have the full seat of burning because I saw the question of Gumball and SpongeBob. And I found that was mad interesting. Wow. It wasn't a diabolical question. It's very straightforward to me. Because it's like a super simple, easy question. Like I don't know why we debated about that question, but hey, I heard y'all talking. You feel what I'm saying? I heard y'all go, and then now we're talking about Disney music. You don't like Phineas and Ferb? Is that what's going on?
No, he's saying he likes SpongeBob's music better than Phineas and Ferb.
What type of music do they have?
SpongeBob?
The same thing.
What are y'all talking about?
What are you talking about? You talking about SpongeBob got a soundtrack? Bro, okay. You know, okay. Gun to your head. Name me 6.
I already named them.
Give me 6 right
you
now.
You name 6.
Give me 6 right now.
What I say? I said the Pearl Sweet 16. I said Spun. I said Best Day Ever. I said Rip This Pants. The Texas song from Sandy, that's the one I was talking about. That's 6 right
that
there.
One earlier, so there you go.
That's 4? No, that's not even 4.
That's 5.
That's 5. I didn't
So
hear the other one. So what was the other one?
I said Texas, the Texas song from Sandy. And then give me
Sweet Victory. I'll give you that one.
Yeah, the Sweet Victory. I know I just said it. Yeah, that's 6. And it's a few more. I literally just gotta look them up, but they bangers, man.
Okay. I let him have those respectfully, but I feel like people will definitely just Siri love. He'll be back.
He's out RL. He's out and about.
I'm not mad because I respect that. Because now a lot of people can name me 6 right off the top of the head. That's why I say name me 6. You feel me? So
well, he didn't name Texas at first. That one came to him this go around.
Because it was like right there.
That's crazy.
It was right there. Okay. I just had to squeeze it out. It was right there.
You know what? I'm not mad at it. If you like SpongeBob, go ahead and enjoy the small soundtrack compared to the huge catalog that Phineas and Ferb have. Compared to those two, it's not even in the same boat, bro. I will give you. See, I don't know if I heard him say that correctly. I probably missed it. Did he say fun?
Yes, yeah. That was the first one he said.
Okay, I didn't hear that. And he did say Campfire Song, did he not?
No, he did not mention Campfire Song.
I said Campfire Song.
Come on, but we have to count that. We have to count
that.
But
I figured those were like the hottest songs. You feel what I'm saying?
I'm going off the top of my head. But I'm going off the top of my head. That's good. Yeah, I'll say that one too.
Because does Jellyfish Jam count?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
it's music. So
not music as in like, I'm talking about like is their music, they created it, and this is their type of this is if you play this song, stamp this is SpongeBob. So does Jellyfish Jam count?
Okay,
yeah, I'm pretty sure it does.
We'll count it.
I think it does, yes.
Okay.
It's synonymous with SpongeBob, so we'll count it.
Okay, because I had to make sure because every time you play Jellyfish Family, you know me, I used to do this in my TikTok intro. I do the dance all the time.
I know that's back in our TikTok days, but we can't do copyrighted music anymore because we're big time now.
I mean, you still, not crazy big time, but if it's a trending, but if it's just
you know what I mean. On YouTube, we will get flagged for using that.
Yeah, YouTube. You know, you just still got linear because my soundtrack from Blue Lock is still there, and I was shocked that I forgot to take it off, and it's still there. I was like, how? Y'all flag me for this all the time. Yeah. That was an accident. But yes, I am. I'm mad respect for naming all the tracks of the SpongeBob. I'm gonna give you that. I'm not gonna disrespect because that is how you feel. That is how you feel. I'm just shocked because I just know the transaction of how Phineas and Ferb is when it comes to their soundtracks and everything like that. They're legit a Disney singing karaoke for Phineas and Ferb, where people are touring around the world to this day about Phineas and Ferb. That's why I'm shocked when I'm just like, what? But hey, no disrespect though. Hey, salute to you for naming all the soundtracks and stuff.
You know what though? Do we let him have the movie songs?
Yeah.
Yes.
What, Now That We're Men?
Yes.
Now That We're Men and Goofy Goober?
Yes.
Goofy Goober's a remix of another song. To the original rock song, right?
Still synonymous with the movie.
Yeah.
So we don't act like Phineas and Ferb don't have remixes?
Of what?
They have remixes of songs. I've heard a Phineas and Ferb song that sounds like another song.
Of
No,
what?
Goofy, yeah. It's still, well.
Of what? I'm just asking a simple question. I'm not being a different. I'm just asking a simple.
You can ask. I would have to look it up, but I know I've heard one. I would have to look it up.
Chat, we got him. We got him, chat. Chat, we got him. He had to look it up. Chat, we got him. We got him, chat.
That don't mean it's not true. That don't mean it's not true.
Chat, we got him. He brought no evidence to the court. He brought no evidence to the court. We got him, chat. We got him. Brought no evidence. How you doing, madam, by the way? I'm so sorry. I feel so real. You just been here super quiet and everything. Hi.
Oh, me?
Yeah,
no, I'm
super quiet. I'm so sorry. I feel real because I never really said anything to you.
Well, she's also said that, you know, as far as speaking and stuff, she's got that shy nature to her, which I understand. Plus, she just likes sitting back and enjoying everybody else going at it.
Yeah, I like your guys' energy. So I mean, I'm not trying to. And I said my piece on SpongeBob and the music and everything. I mean,
yeah,
like I think it says something that as a kid, I didn't like Phineas and Ferb. I'll be honest. As a kid, I was like, I don't get it. But like, I still remember squirrels in my pants, even not liking the show. And I remember SpongeBob songs, but that's just because I watched SpongeBob. That's all I watched some weeks. So, but I think Phineas and Ferb might have SpongeBob beaten that department. But you know, SpongeBob, it has like all the other dubs, like in terms of like skits and like I like the animation in it more, and the jokes are funnier in my opinion. And it's more whimsical in a sense. So I don't know, but I gotta give it to Phineas and Ferb in the music department.
Hey, it's nothing wrong. It's nothing wrong.
I mean, yeah, we can give it to Phineas and Ferb when it comes to quantity. But I'm a quality guy, so yeah.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Don't disrespect.
Yeah, we've already been there. We've been there.
I'm so sorry. That was funny.
I mean, we all already agree that Phineas and Ferb may have more songs.
Oh no, absolutely. They got more songs. You feel me? I just heard what you said with your last statement. That's it. You know what I'm saying? And I respect it. I'm not gonna burn. This house is supposed to be cooking, but I'm not gonna burn. I'm not gonna burn, bro. I'm here. I'm chilling. Can I ask it? Yo, the last question was the SpongeBob and Gumball. What was that? What was that supposed to be? What was that question supposed to be? Hold up, let me get my input on that because I feel like
that was not as shows, but as characters. One has to go, and I specifically put that in there just to troll you because I know how much you love Gumball and Darwin. But then you
are we just talking about characters?
Just characters.
Oh yeah, how much you think SpongeBob can go? Just as characters?
Yeah. Okay, see, that SpongeBob can go.
Yeah, respectfully, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. Right, absolutely, because we're talking about
and that's why I was saying because they all got rid of Gumball and Darwin, and I said I really put this in here for my nephew, and
as
then that's what popped up in the chat. Yeah, as characters. Like if we're talking about as in just
no, you said it's duos.
Yes, but as characters, like not as their
shows, not
like
as
duos.
And deuterogonous.
Okay, I'm confused here. Wait a minute. Host of the podcast, sir. You
host of the podcast.
Yes.
SpongeBob and Patrick or Gumball and Darwin as characters. Not as their shows.
Characters. Okay.
As them.
As just them.
Yes.
Okay, there we go. That makes so much sense now. Because I was like, duos, solos. Wait a minute, we talking about solos. Oh, I'm taking Gumball any day. Yeah, I mean, now we're talking here. Now we're talking. Now I can know what's up. I mean, and we're still talking about duos, though. You really have more of SpongeBob doing most of the thing, and the Patrick just tagging along in the last placement is that with Gumball and Darwin legit do every single adventure and stuff together. And we're talking about in the duos impact of that type of way. Because you look at every episode of SpongeBob, season 1 through 3, you legit see SpongeBob go through different other outcomes of every situation by himself, with Patrick alone just annoying his fuckery every single time. But when you look at Gumball and Darwin, since episode 1, you have nothing but their duo since episode. They have not literally split up unless that one episode that you literally have is we're out of tune. Like they legit have impactful of so many things right now. I just feel like when you look at SpongeBob and Patrick, you be thinking of quotes of everything that they bring. Because you remember everything that's like, his mayonnaise instruments. Like you have that when it comes to SpongeBob and Patrick. Because quotes will forever be memorable when you just watch the show. But I just felt like we're just talking about as just characters of like laughter, funny. What they're bringing, everything like that. Oh yeah, I'm sticking with Gumball and I'm sticking with Gumball and Darwin because they did so many things that's so great of episodes. And I can, hey man, go get room with that. You're sick.
But SpongeBob and Patrick literally.
You can get me in trouble on YouTube, dog. Are you insane, dog? My fault. Go for it.
I was going to say, SpongeBob and Patrick, they literally raised the child together.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They have impactful moments in shows and stuff like that, and quotable stuff.
Which makes them a stronger duo.
They nearly died together, and holding each other's hands.
Absolutely. They could be a great goofy goober. Look, all I know is if I gotta fight the most evil girl up around the block, all I know is if I go to a dream with my best friend to try to stop him with Penny. I know is if I go around the world and I'm singing it's not my problem. All I know is if I'm going around and I'm just beating up people and the world is absolutely as amazing in the type of in every single day aspect. I'm not gonna lie, like I said, as in characters, this is me. Like I said, just me. Yeah. I would choose Gumball and Darwin 100% because I feel more in culture in tune with them than I do with SpongeBob and stuff like that. Because like I said, if I get to 3, we're done. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about the characters. And when I'm talking about the characters, what they do, I think of more Gumball and Darwin in my end than I do with SpongeBob and Patrick like that. Like I said, I can name quotes all day, but if I'm just talking about like as a duo that makes things like super great and then do the entire series and non-stop, 100% Gumball and Darwin.
And you know what? That's going to be great. And I'm glad you're here because they've been on the hot seat for a while. So I want to back up a little bit. And sir, these are just all going to be for yours. So we are going to include you now in some rapid fire one has to goes that we did tonight.
Oh, fuck. Excuse me.
Because we were at the end of the show when you popped in, so we had actually gotten done with everything. So you guys already gave your answers. So we're going to get all of his before we wrap up. So, sir, real quick, we did, and these are similarity, and these are as characters, not shows.
Okay.
The first one was one has to go, Kakashi or Gojo.
Oh, Gojo.
Smart man.
Gojo. Gojo, for sure. For sure, Gojo. I read the series and I know why, but we're not going to get to that.
Prince is we found out that he's a resident Kakashi hater.
I can see why. I can see why. I can see the love hate. I can see love hate.
Stand Kakashi.
I can see the love hate.
We asked a question earlier during our Naruto topic. Who's the most overrated? He said Kakashi.
Overrated?
He also said Sasuke, but he said Kakashi.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Is it because he never won most of his fight? He only won like one, and all his other fights has just been like that.
That's a big part of it.
Okay. Is it because of you're not really a Uchiha? You just got that from somebody?
I'm not even going to use that against him.
Is it his sensei?
Only you did because you talked about how he copies everybody's stuff, so you did use it against him.
I mean, sure, but
is it his training? Is it being the sensei is what kind of doing it as well?
I'm like Kakashi's never really done anything that I've been impressed with. I'm sorry. I just don't like. We just like we like him because we grew up with him and he's their sensei, like, and he's always been around. But no, like, no.
I respect it.
He couldn't even beat Zabuza. Like, what are we talking about?
I mean, I'm not mad at that. Like, I can understand. I can see the love hate from a lot of both sides.
Yeah, but we also noted how strongly Jasiri feels about Kakashi, so that was a very interesting topic earlier.
Oh, really? Hey, look.
That we won't let them rehash because we did cover that already.
They got it. They got that.
We'll see this in the archives. But the next one, as we do these
my final answer
for
will
you.
be Gojo. My final answer will be Gojo.
One has to go Dexter from Dexter's Laboratory or Jimmy Neutron.
I mean, okay. Just kind. I mean, is it just like just what
them as characters? So who they are, what they've done.
Okay.
Not
So
the show.
characters with it. Okay. Because that was who had to make sure. That was a hard one. That was a hard one for me. As a character, dude, I ain't gonna lie. I probably would pick. I feel like I'll pick Jimmy Neutron over Dexter because I can be more cool with Jimmy than I would with Dexter, though. I'm gonna be real. Now, just think about it, right? When you really look at Dexter the entire time, most of the time he want to be to himself. Nobody really don't talk to me. Stay out of my laboratory. Let me stick.
He don't have friends.
Like, get the fuck out of my face. Versus Jimmy Neutron, he legit let me be in the lab. I could chill. I could test some of his experiments. Yeah, some of them might fuck up, but still, I'm having fun. So, like, hey, if we fucked up, we in this bitch together, bro. What you mean? So, hey, Jimmy Timmy Power Hour. That's all you need to know. All right, next.
Yeah, we brought that up.
Next.
But anyway, let's go ahead and move on. Scaredy Dogs, Courage or Scooby-Doo? As characters.
You'd be more cool with Scooby-Doo because if you like to smoke. But if you look at Courage the Cowardly Dog, he might be cowardly, but he'll save the day. It needs to be done.
Yeah, that's actually what I said earlier. I said at least Courage tries to save
the day.
Scooby-Doo saves people by accident.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like if I could be with Scooby-Doo, I could be chillful with him. We could be aight. We could rock you feel what I'm saying? Like, I feel like we do a lot of great chase scenes, but Courage would give me a great scream, and it would be like the things I do for love, and we be right back at it. Like, bro, Dollar, would you choose Scooby or would you choose Courage?
Well, let me ask this. Would you want Dollar to be the type of dog that would protect you if you were in trouble or the one that would run away?
God, he does both of that already. I ain't gonna hold you. And he's a service dog. That's what's crazy. I'm gonna make it's gonna be crazy because the world might shoot me for this, but I'm probably gonna let Scooby-Doo go because I feel like I'll rock with Courage. I feel like I'll rock with Courage because Scooby-Doo, like I said, if we in a fucking situation and shit like that, and a monster and shit, like, he's gonna run most of the time and shit. Courage is gonna just yell and scream and then go to the computer and figure out what the hell I gotta do to get this shit done, and then come back down and be like, all right, let's end this. So, hey, I got a dog who can rescue me, but he ain't a coward as people really make it seem like it be. So they need to change that whole title of the show. So you know what? I'm picking Courage. Courage, we chill.
Well, yeah, I mean, he does get spooked by a lot, but when you think of the things that come by his house, like, I think a normal person would be scared by those things.
Look,
like, these ain't just regular people showing up to Courage's house.
I know. We talking about demons, curses, gods, like ducks, aliens, you name it. Like, you can't die. It's there, bro. Oh, and mythical creatures like mermaids and stuff like that.
Exactly. And then the last one that you were not here for, Denzel Crocker, Mr. Crocker, or Dr. Doofenshmirtz.
As in characters.
Yeah, this one was a tough one for us too.
Damn. They're both funny. They're both funny, bro. In their own way, they're both funny. Because you like the Fairy Odd Parents spaz out a lot of him just saying random stuff versus Doofenshmirtz to say the most dumb diabolical plot line in the entire history, especially when it comes to Perry the Platypus. It's just a platypus. Patty! mean the platypus? Like what? That was the whole secret of the evil Doofus Smurf. Was like, bro, how do you not know this entire time who he is, bro? Like, yo, this is a tough one, but I'm gonna go quick with this. I'm gonna say Doofus Smurf. I'm gonna pick Doofus Smurf over.
So Crocker has to go.
Yeah, Crocker's gonna have to go. I'm gonna pick Doofus Smurf because I feel like I have great fun. We won't be there for. I won't explain the song. I'm gonna say Doofus Smurf. He's staying. Doofus Smurf is staying. Crocker can go.
All right, you gotta love it. I just wanted to make sure I got that one in real quick. So now we'll come down to the question that we always ask when we come to the end. Guys, lovely guests, how y'all feeling tonight?
Ladies first.
Oh man. I mean, I'm just happy to be on the show and like get, Puryear Media out there, get my own work out there, and just, talk to some people about some nerd stuff, nerd garbage, as I like to call it.
Nerd garbage is crazy. I ain't gonna lie, that's crazy.
I mean, look at it. I mean, you see my background.
You know what's crazy? I was just about to say something about the background of all your archives of histories of. Is that Wolverine back there slicing somebody right now?
Wolverine?
Is that Wolverine? The yellow guy out there to your right?
Right here's Wolverine.
87. No, 97. 97.
I didn't think that.
I don't know. I got him as a gift.
Well, he's the 90s Wolverine, definitely.
90s, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Which I caught up, by the way. All right,
nice.
Nah, but absolutely. Thank you for stopping by, though. That was
Yeah, no, thank y'all for having us. You guys are a great gang. You guys got a good energy. I like your pod.
That Prince, what about you?
Yeah. So yeah, this was cool. I'm good. I was excited. I was excited. A little nervous, but I feel like that's like natural with anything. But yeah, I was looking forward to it. Good talking to everybody, trying to get the brand out there and whatnot.
Absolutely. So, and like I said, I'm glad we were finally able to get you on because we've been trying to make this happen for a while, and it's always been either one thing or another, but we got it.
Yeah. And I still want to get with y'all. I wanna do the intro, the animated intro.
No, we're definitely still gonna talk about that. Like I haven't forgotten about it.
Yeah, and I'm obviously, Camille. I'm gonna get her on there with to help me with the project too.
Yeah,
so
I'm already ready.
Yeah,
I'm already planning, plotting.
No, absolutely. So just one more time, because I'm also drop something in the chat again. Just plug anything that you want everybody to know so we can get that on record one more time as I hold up the books.
Okay. Well, yeah, you can get Blackout online. All 4 books now are available on Amazon. I'll also be at the Georgia World Congress Center July 18th through the 20th. We'll be at the Atlanta Comic Con, so you can also see us there. We'll be selling books in person. Also, you can go to my page, Puryear Media. Feel free to shoot a DM or anything if you're looking to get any, content created, animation, illustration, graphic design, anything. Feel free to reach out. We're very responsive. So yeah.
Hey guys, you love to hear it. Love to hear it. So I will say, because they got their stuff out here, King of New York. Anything you want to say before we get out of here as you're out there IRL?
Boom. You already know the vibes. Listen, it is a beautiful day in New York City, other than the heat beating everybody up like they from the South Bronx on the left, the ferry. But yeah, I hope everybody have fun. You know what I mean? What else? Flatiron Social Club vlogs are starting to come back because it's about to be that time of the year. And if you haven't, check out Apothecary Diaries. That joint's actually pretty good.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Somebody told me about that.
Fact, I got put onto that joint last night. I ain't gonna hold you.
Okay.
All right, yes, sir. Sir, I know you joined us late. Anything you want to say before we get out of here?
Absolutely. Recommendation of the day is, oh my gosh, if y'all have not saw what's been going on lately, you're all I can think of. Every time I drink you're my soda pop, my little soda pop. If y'all have not saw K-pop 100, oh my gosh. Yo, I ain't gonna hold you. Netflix is cooking when they release that. It is the creators of who made Spider-Verse, and when I tell y'all they did this movie so good, facial expressions, the movies, the songs, the plot, everything, it's just so good. If you have not saw K-pop Demon Hunters, you need to watch it because I want a series of it. It is so good. Like, yo, I have never saw a animation in a while that got to be like, oh my gosh, they actually cooked. Like, they actually cooked. So if you actually take the time of your day, and if you got Netflix or anything like that, I'm telling you, I'm putting you on right now. I'm telling you, because your soundtrack is going to be fire, bro. It's going to be fire. When you play this, you're going to be addictive just like me, and you're going to move your shoulders just like this and be like my little soda pop. So please go check that movie out. It is amazing. I love it. It's fantastic. Take your time out of your day to go watch it. I'm telling you, you're not. I'm not giving you BS recommendation. This is a great recommendation. Go watch it. It's amazing. It's cool. And I usually do a quote on my usually when I go. I'll say this: time is very consuming. But if you are able to be patient, I promise you will get to where you need to be. So time is very consuming, but patience is always a virtue. So you'll make it to where you want to be. So be careful out there, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, and that's all I got. That's all I got from my end. Yeah. I know I haven't been showing up lately because I've been moving and stuff, but it's all good. It's all good. I'm almost done. I'm almost done with my life. All right? I'm literally almost done, but we're here.
There's nothing wrong with that. That is what's up. So, guys, that is going to wrap up this week's episode of the podcast is real. Of course, always stay tuned to all of our social medias, whether that is Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and just about everywhere except for Twitter, because it's too many letters. But everywhere else, you can find us at the podcast is real. If you need to shoot us an email, you can shoot us an email at thepodcastisreal@gmail.com. For anybody that might want to talk any business or anything like that, we are definitely here. We will let you know the next time that we will be on for the podcast, and you know that we're going to always keep those debates up. This will be available immediately as the stream ends and will go up on all the other platforms such as Spotify, Amazon Music, and all of that stuff first thing Monday morning, as they always do. So for our lovely, talented guests here at Puryear Digital Media, for the King of New York, Jasiri, for my co-host and nephew vocals, I am your host, King Drell. And just remember, Sasuke might be overrated, but the podcast, just like Puryear Digital Media, is real. Go check out their stuff, guys, and we'll see y'all next time. Salute!